Almost forgot to have my sub renew. Would have been a shame upon my bloodline and whatnot.
Man, I can't believe I'm back. It actually feels weird, but not weird sitting in the chair, you know? It's like what I'm always saying, you gotta do what you gotta do. Dude, I did it. I fucking did it. That's the wild part. If I sound a little bit different, it's probably either A, I'm getting used to having these headphones on again, and B, I'm a little stuffed up. I don't know if I'm sick, because I don't feel sick. But I think my body is, like, trying to exude all of the energy from the trip, and by doing that, it's giving me allergies. Because I've been sneezing since Tuesday morning, and then it kind of developed into a sore throat while I was at the airport. And now my nose is really sniffly. It feels like the mildest cold you could ever have. So if I sound a little stuffed up, that's why. Although I'm not having any issues breathing, so I don't really know what it is. And like I said, it's the mildest cold I think I've ever had. I'm so proud of you for doing what you had to do. Well, I mean, Torb, I didn't necessarily have to do it, but I wanted to do it, you know? Let's say hi to everybody. She did the thing. I did do the thing. It's Friday, everybody. No, it's not, but you know. Not gonna be talking for a sec, but I am here to lurk. That's understandable, Christy. Hello, Christy. Hello, Bunk. Hello, Torb. Hello, Ed. Torb, thank you for the 10-month resub. Leah coded pop in and said, wow, she's live. I do be live. Leah. Nice to see you. Welcome in. I think that's it. I hope I'm not missing anybody. If I am or you're lurking, what's up? How you doing? My name is Starla, and welcome on back to the little Starlaverse cave we got going on here. We've made some changes. You know, I reformatted everything here, and I finally got rid of that empty space just in time for the end of Pride Month. You know what? Like, that's something that I am going to talk about today in regards to my trip. I have a lot to talk about today, and that's why it's just a just chatting stream. I thought about maybe playing some Final Fantasy because I miss it. Hello, Cowd. Welcome in. I do miss playing video games. I didn't really actually play a lot of video games besides Tomodachi Life and Guitar Hero with Midnight. It's probably the least amount of video games I've ever played in my life. Blow bubbles for the cats. None of them are in here. Hello, Sharp Orbital. Welcome back. Cowd, I might have to put a pin on that because none of the cats are actually in here right now. But when they pop in, I'll blow those immediately. I mean, I can see if I back up and maybe they'll come over. But yeah, we got the flag up. For those of you that don't know, this is the genderqueer flag. This is my identity. I feel like I should be a bit more open about that. I am not just a woman. We're so back. Hello, Allie. Hello, Throwaway. Thank you for being here for today's coming back stream. Yes, I am back. How was New York? It was fantastic. I have many stories to tell. Alright, let's see what happens if I blow some bubbles. Now, I will let you know, it is like 30 degrees here in Canada, which is almost 100 degrees Fahrenheit, I believe, degrees. So I have my fan running. I'm probably gonna have my fan running for, like, the rest of the summer whenever I stream, so if you hear it, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about that. Like, it is too hot. Not a woman. I mean, I am, but I don't think I can say I'm not cis. That's the thing, is I'm pretty sure, because it's more so a sense of expression and not identity, but it is my identity. Like, I don't know how to explain. I think I'm cis. I feel like whatever you are is cool with me. Well, thank you, Throwaway. I'm just still new to this stuff, to learning about it and how I can expand all of that. Oh, there's Twilight. Oh my god, the bubbles are going everywhere. There they are. Okay, they're in here. The bubbles are gonna get blown away, though, because of the fan. Get him, Fable. Get him, Twilight. So pretty. Yes. There's so many. Oh, big hops. Oh, there goes my New York bear. There you go. There's a little bit. All you need to be is yourself. For real. Let me put that bear back up. Let me back up this way. This is one of the things I got from the trip, actually. Was this cute little bear. I bought it, like, at the airport after something happened at the airport. Hello, Oni. Welcome in. Yeah, we finally have stuff cleared up, which is nice. But yeah, that's the genderqueer flag. Okay, so let's start from the beginning, right? Let's start from the very beginning, because we have a lot to talk about. Hello. For anybody that might be new here, because for some reason the JonTron video got like an extra 10, 11, 13,000 something views while I was gone. So if any of you are new here, hi. My name is Ali Star- I almost said my full name. My name is Ali Starla. I stream usually every Tuesday and Thursday. We have had some more consistent stream schedules, such as Monday and Wednesday nights. But really, most of my 5 out here, nice job, Oni, I appreciate that. Mostly I'm live about Tuesdays and Thursdays. I have been streaming for a little bit longer since I've been making content. And recently I just went on a trip to New York. Wish I could hang out with everyone, but I'm at work right now, so lovely to have you back, Ellie. Thank you so much, Gunga. I appreciate all of the kind wishes, especially with the day I had on Tuesday. But let's start from the beginning, right? The very beginning is, why did I go on this trip? Well, we have multiple reasons as to why I went on this trip. Let's change this music out so we can actually kind of... We don't need to have the same track playing over and over again. We got vibes to this, right? So, in April, Starry messaged me on Discord asking me if I was going to the Jschlatt show. I immediately said no. I'm gonna go to bed. See ya. Have a good night, Count. Thanks for stopping by. I immediately said no because it's in America and I've never flown to America because I could never afford to fly to America. And she goes like, you know what, that's okay, but we'll see how it is. It's fantastic having you back and I can't wait to try and keep up with the streams to hang out with you three again. Absolutely. I'll probably be down to stream this Monday. We'll see. Like I said before, I'm a little stuffed up, so if my voice gets a little bit inky or I sniffle it to the camera, I'm very sorry. My nose has been acting up since I got back. It's some weird American allergy. I think I'm allergic to America. Or if it's because I was in one of the biggest cities in the world. That probably has something to do with it. And so, like, she, you know, she was like, you never know, right? But keep me posted. And I was like, you know what, I'm not going. But then I started to see tweets about how cheap the tickets were. So I thought, well, I might as well look at the tickets, right? I might as well see what they've got going on. I hate that my nose all of a sudden got super stiffy. Stiffy. Hold on. I got a new cup, too. I got this cup at the Nintendo store. It glows in the dark, apparently, but it's too light for it to glow. But, like, that's a pretty nice cup, right? So anyways, I check out the ticket prices, and VIP is gone, which was fine for the time, but the tickets were like 50 CAD. And I'm like, wait, that's really affordable actually. And then out of curiosity, I checked flights for New York, and they were also like 200 to 400 CAD. And I was like, because of you guys, because of how incredibly generous you all were during that April 1st stream for my 1-year Twitch anniversary, that ticket was affordable. So I was like, well, fuck, like I was able to get my ticket there and back, no problem, because of that one stream 1-year anniversary from you. So thank you for that, of course, and that's what made me go like, fuck, I can do this. But then I had to look into my passport, and there was a whole thing with my passport, right? There was a whole thing with my middle name being spelt incorrectly in my photo ID. I don't have a driver's license, but we have something called a photo ID card, which basically acts as a form of ID when you don't have your license. And the only thing that I had been using for my ID at this rate was a health card, which not everywhere takes. Some places are not allowed to take a health card as ID, especially as photo ID, despite my photo being on it. I don't know why, but some places don't take it. In fact, like, if I wanted to get my passport, the health card would not have worked. I would have had to got my photo ID card, which I got during college, so I'm glad that I had that. But my middle name was spelled incorrectly. It's spelled with 2 M's instead of 2 N's. So that was problematic, and that led me down a whole pipeline of whether or not I even needed my middle name. Some people were telling me that I could just do my first and last name in my passport. Some people were telling me that I could just do the initial of my middle name. Some people were telling me that I absolutely needed my middle name because it's always been in all forms of my ID, my middle name has been. And so it was like, well, fuck. So I started looking into it, right? And I had like 3 different passport forms that I was going to hand in based on what questions were answered. So I had a form that had my middle name, I had a form that didn't have my middle name, and then I had a form that had the middle initial. And I had to get like my father to sign all 3 of these statements, and then I was gonna see which one I was gonna end up giving them, right? And, you know, I asked my dad, and he said, yes, your middle name needs to be in it, and if it's not spelled correctly, you're in trouble. I asked someone at Service Ontario, I think it was, either Service Canada or Service Ontario, one of those. I asked them what they think, and they said no, first and last name should be fine regardless. And then I actually called Service Canada, and the guy on the phone told me no, if it's spelt wrong, they're gonna walk you out. Like, they're gonna kick you out if it's spelt wrong in any regard. So, keep in mind, I had decided that I was going mid-April. Hi, Starry! Hi, I'm telling the story of how I went. Hey, my God, hi. So yeah, I decided that I was going mid-April, and I got just general admission for the show, right? Keep that in mind for later. I got general admission for the Jschlatt show, and I was in row L. I think I was like row L, seat 60 or something like that. I don't remember. I'd have to check on Ticketmaster, but I was supposed to be in row L, way in the back, okay? So also keep that in mind. I decided that I was going mid-April. I didn't get my passport until the beginning of June. June 15th, I believed I pick up my passport, right? So anytime between the middle of April to like the very end of May, I didn't even know if I was gonna get my fucking passport in time. Like, it was that wild. And so when I actually went to Service Ontario, I had my 3 forms and I asked them point blank. I was said, do I need my middle name on my passport despite if I don't want it to be? And the person at the front said, like, why would you not want your middle name to be on it, or something like that? And I showed them my photo ID card, row L plus ratio or something like that. I don't know, I'm out of jokes currently. It's a very hot day. It's an incredibly hot day, so I feel you, Torb. I 100% feel you on that. But anyways, I had, thankfully, oh, Ed! Yo! Nice prime.
How you're doing? Brothers, let's
way
survive
too high
the
for
heat
me?
wave.
It is. What did that say? How you're doing, bros? Let's survive the heat wave. For fucking real, bud. Absolutely for real. My bad. That was really loud on my end. I still heard it, though. I still heard it. I just wanted to make sure that I'd read it. Anyways. Yeah, so, you know, I thank God. Thank fuck. I had not just my photo ID card, but my birth certificate. I don't know if you guys have your birth certificates, because apparently it's really hard to get nowadays, but I have my original birth certificate from when I was born. I even have the month it was, like, issued to me and stuff. So I went up to the front, and I asked if I needed to have my middle name on it. He said if your middle name's on your other documents, it needs to be on your passport. Like, the only way you'd be able to not have your middle name is if you requested it to change after the fact. But for applying for your passport, it needs to have your middle name in it. So I was like, okay, well, that's going to be a problem. And I handed him the 2 cards. I handed him my photo ID card with my middle name spelled incorrectly. And I handed him my birth certificate with my middle name spelled correctly. And I handed it to him. And he went, they'll just go off your birth certificate. He was like, they might call you and ask one which is correct, but they'll just go off your birth certificate because it's the first piece of ID that you have. Fucking perfect, right? I was ready for the call, and I had told my friends, be prepared to get a call to confirm anything. Apparently they didn't get anything, and I don't know if I got any calls, but it didn't matter, because on June 15th, less than 2 weeks, I think, I'd have to check my other calendar, probably a little under 2 weeks before I had to actually, no, the 15th was, like, maybe a little under 3 weeks before I had to leave, I finally got my passport. Which was very, very exciting. But that also meant that I needed to go. Like, I was going. I can't back out now, right? So, Friday night comes. I make sure that I have everything packed. I got my toothbrush, I got my makeup, I got my clothes, I'm checking to make sure that it's not too heavy. My bag was maybe about 10 pounds, which was good, I made sure to have plenty of room so that if I needed to bring anything back, I could. And I had a backup plan. If I needed anything to be shipped to me, I'd either get Rachel or Midnight to do it. Saturday morning comes, I get up, and I head to the airport in Toronto, and I'm there like 3 hours early. I went to one of the smaller airports, really cute small airport. For some reason, why do airports have some of the most expensive shops I've ever seen? I'm not talking about the gift shops. The Toronto airport that I went to that I'm afraid to disclose because I don't know if it'll dox me, had like a gift shop that was like, it sold like expensive booze and cologne that you would see at like a Victoria's Secret and like rich kid stuff. Why? I know that like when you used to fly, it was because you had money, right? Like, if you were on a plane, you were wearing a full suit to show that you had money type shit. Apparently, you can even get free upgrades if you show up to an airport for your flight in, like, a full suit. I don't know how that works, but that's what someone told me. I don't know if that's an American thing exclusively, but that is a thing. And so, it just, like, it was really interesting to go into this airport and see all of this expensive shit. I don't know why anybody would drop $250 on cologne when either waiting for a flight or planning to land, or landing from a flight. You know what I mean? Because you all exit out the same way. So Saturday, right? I'm at the airport for 3 hours. I'm good. I got my Switch charged. I got my phone charged. There are spots to charge my phone. I'm all good, right? I wait. I get on the plane. I get to know this really nice girl. Would you like to pay a 750 CAD for a 12 ounce of Tiger's Fury cologne? That's kind of what it was, dude. It was really weird. It was very, very strange. I mean, I guess it's because they want people to spend money and they think if you remember you didn't get someone a souvenir, you'll have to buy it from there. Yeah, but Giorgio Armani cologne is not a Canadian souvenir. I don't think, I just found out yesterday one of my coworkers flew out to New York and went up to Canada last week too. Oh, fuck, you know what? Flights to New York from Canada are really fucking easy. It was like an hour and 20 minutes back, and then it was supposed to be an hour and 4 minutes back, but it actually ended up being an hour and 3 minutes back, but we'll get to that later. So, I met this really nice girl who apparently just does traveling for a living, like that's what she does, and she actually let me have her window seat because I expressed it was my first time flying. So I got to have my window seat on my first trip, which was great. I got a lot of pictures from that. I'll be posting that probably on Instagram and a little bit on TikTok maybe. And I'm sure you saw me put stuff in the Discord as well when I was actually on the flight. I actually did just make a post on Instagram showing a bit more of the trip. So if you're curious about that, that was very nice. And so here's the thing that happened that was interesting on Saturday, right? I land at the airport at 3:20, maybe 3:40. And this is on me because I was so busy Friday and Saturday that I didn't check the times. But as I got to the airport, I found out I wasn't getting picked up until 10 p.m. It wasn't even 4 o'clock yet. The pilot drifted on the way back to save Starla a whole minute. What a Chad. That's not, and you know what's funny, Oni? That's actually not what happened. We'll get to that. I promise we'll get to that. It's actually way fucking worse. So, I land, and I'm told I'm not gonna get picked up until 10 p.m. And I'm like, that's fine, I'm an incredibly patient person, okay? This is the thing about me. I am an incredibly patient person. As long as I can have my phone and some other form of entertainment, I will wait as long as you need me to, right? So I'm letting, everyone's messaging me because I'm messaging, like, my mom, I'm messaging my dad, I'm messaging all the guys here, just letting them know that I had landed. And throughout the day, they'd keep asking me, like, oh, how's America? And I'd be like, I don't know, I'm still at the airport. And they'd be like, what do you mean you're still at the airport? I'm like, well, yeah, you know, I'm just chilling here. I literally build planes for a living and I have not been on one yet. Really, Bunk? I thought you worked with cars and stuff. How much for a commission? Oni's got the cash, let me tell you. So yeah, apparently I'm not gonna get picked up until like 10 p.m. So I'm chill. I'm fine with it. But it was just so funny having people ask me, yo, how I really don't. I feel that, Oni. They're like, yeah, how's New York? I'm like, I'm still at the airport. They're like, what the fuck do you mean you're still at the airport? Why are you still at the airport? And I'm like, because, I'm not getting picked up till 10, that's why. So I got, like, some Dunkin' Donuts. I tried a donut for the first time because they didn't have lunch. They also wouldn't accept cash, and they also wouldn't accept my debit card. Really weird Dunkin' Donuts. But the guy was nice. He gave me my donut for free because I said I was Canadian. And, you know, I wanted a star donut, and my name is Starla. Bro never had a donut. Well, I've never had a Dunkin' Donuts donut, and let me tell you, okay? I knew right away that when I've talked about the different food laws in Canada, I feel like people think I'm trying to be like a pick-me with my country. That's not it. We just have different food laws. You guys have stuff like banquet meals and dollar menu items. We don't have that in Canada because, no offense, we're not as lenient with ingredients as Americans is. And this was solidified when I took that bite of that Dunkin' Donuts hot dog. I just read Throwaway's comment. Dunkin' Donuts donut. Starla ate 2 pounds of raw sugar. That's essentially what it was. I take my bite, and first of all, I didn't know the donut was gonna have like a pink filling in it. So I take my first bite, and I literally said out loud, holy shit. And I spooked the family to my right. Because I get hit with it. It felt like I had just taken a sip of an energy drink, but it was just sugar. Like, it was powerful. It took me a half an hour to eat this donut because of how strong of a difference it was compared to the donuts that I can get at, like, a Coffee Time or a Tim Hortons. I have had a really long, twisted donut covered in sugar, and it still was not nearly as powerful as that little fucking, like, it was maybe this big, I would say, too. Weak Canadian taste buds. No, see, this is why we don't have the obesity problem. That's what it is. Because Jesus Christ, that was a powerful ass donut. But it was, I liked it. I did like it. It just took me a lot longer to finish it because holy shit, Jesus Christ, right? So anyways, I'm at the airport until 10 p.m. Finally, Rachel and Starry are here to pick me up, and I wish I had gotten a picture of it, but I think they threw it out. Rachel showed up with, like, this like, pamphlet or something that had a picture of me and Starry on it, and was like, the stars are here, which is funny, because Starry lives in America. So she's been here, but it was really cute. I really wish I had gotten a picture of it. No, we still have it? Send a picture of it to me, because I remember when we got out of the car, Starry had spilt some stuff, and I thought, from my perspective, it looked like Rachel had taken it out of the back seat and chucked it. That's what it looked like to me. It was gone from, like, memory once that happened, you know? Take a picture of it and put it, if you can put it in the Discord, that's good. If not, I'll put it in the Discord later. That is the most welcome to America-ass story I've ever heard under a hate crime. Under a hate crime? Saying that America has an obesity problem is a hate crime? That's funny. Send a Brit to America and they will overdose on grease and sugar. It's wild. Yeah, it's honestly sad. They just dump garbage food to make it more addictive. Let me tell you, I wasn't addicted to the donut after one bite. I will let you guys know that right now. I was not. I was fine. And honestly, I was kind of full. I had that donut at like 5 p.m. I didn't eat again until I had some Wendy's fries just before they picked me up. When she gets back from the movies with my kid, I'll tell her to take it up here and get a pick. I'm at home doing my schoolwork. Okay, that's valid. That's valid, Starry. Thank you. Yeah, definitely send a picture or send it to me, because I do want to see that. Because they used a particular photo of me that Starry didn't even know was me at first. I think it was Starry that said she didn't recognize me at first, and I think that's really funny. Getting hate crimed is the only thing that can be a more welcome to the States moment. Oh, true. I wasn't hate crimed. This was another funny thing that happened Saturday, right? So, I was talking in the group chat, or I was talking in the Discord about how I had bumped into a woman working at a gift shop And I had said like, oh, sorry, am I in your way? And she just completely brushed me off. And later, when I was in line to buy this stuff, I got like this little statue here. Just kind of a little memento to have up on my desk here. Maybe I'll find a way to put it behind me one day, who knows. But I wanted to put that there because I just think it's cute. And then I also have the New York bear, because I wanted a bear for Tuesday with the shit that I was going through. So yeah, like, I had told that story, and I'm assuming Rachel had seen it, because the first thing that she tells me, that's her, John America, I straight up don't remember spilling anything. It was when we had gotten out of the car right outside of the hotel, and the stuff had fallen out of the bag. That's what happened. But, so we get to the gas station, because, you know, we wanted to get some drinks to bring to the hotel, and yeah, I didn't recognize you on the poster. Oh, right, yeah, see, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Why is my light going dim? Is that because of the outside light? It might be. There we go. That's better. So we get into the gas station, and before we go in, Rachel tells me, don't be nice to anybody, mind your business, right? And I was kind of like, oh, this is going to sound a bit pick-me, but I am used to talking to strangers because they approach me. I look rather friendly. People really like my hair, and they like to talk to me about my hair. So I am used to when people are striking up a conversation, it's because they want to talk to me, right? That's what I'm used to. I'm used to people stopping me in the mall to compliment me. I'm used to people asking me about certain things, like a store I'm in. I'm used to people just being like, whatever, right? I'm used to being spoken to. That's how it is in Canada. So it was a complete culture shock to basically be told that I'm not allowed to think humans exist. I'm not allowed to look at them. I'm not allowed to talk to them. And I just go, okay, fine, right? Don't accept any compliments. Don't do anything, right? I walk into the gas station, I get my stuff, I go up to the front counter, and it's like two people. It's an older man and a younger foreign woman, and the woman won't stop looking at me. She's like, she's checking out this one girl, and then she looks at me, and then she's like, she's doing this a lot, and she's like, that, right? And I'm thinking, it's probably the hair. Anytime anybody looks at me like that, it's the hair. But I'm not going to say anything to her, because that's what I was told. I walk up, and she's giggling. And I'm like, here, you know, it'll be debit, or I guess I was supposed to say card, but I was saying debit. And she goes, you're really pretty. I'm not, you would think this should be on r/yeah, that happened. I'm not fucking with you. Rachel and Starry were there. I don't know if they were paying attention, but they can account to this. She giggles and goes, you're really pretty. And I'm like, oh my, and I forget I'm in America, and I'm just like, oh my god, thank you, like, haha, and I, oh, she was crushing a little, I don't know, dude, but it was just so funny to hear her say, to hear Rachel say, don't talk to anybody, mind your business, and then the first American I ever speak to in the country is like, you know, happy Pride Month, whatever, right? And I looked pretty good, you know, I looked better coming into the country than I did leaving, if that makes sense, which we'll get to that after. Hey, you pretty, after hearing leave me the fuck alone. Yeah, after being told not to talk to anybody, and that's the first thing I hear from the first American I, like, really speak to getting out of the airport, I guess, besides, Rachel and Starry. So that was really funny. That kind of made me feel bad, because then I started to tell her, like, hey, this is my first time here, I'm Canadian, this is when I start. That gas station was a bit sketchy, on God. The outside, definitely. I was trying not to look around, because I didn't want to, like, you know, I know from my country that if people are lingering outside of the gas station, it's never for a good reason. So I knew what to deal with that. Because there was, like, an older lady just hanging around the gas station outside. Nothing was going on inside, but outside it was a little bit weird. So yeah, I knew what to do about that, but that was just funny. To be fair, that's an East Coast thing. The rest of the country is a lot nicer than the New York, Jersey area. I was also told that, so that makes sense. So we get back, we get to the hotel at, like, I want to say maybe 11, maybe closer to 12 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. Rachel has been driving since, like, 3 o'clock that morning, 4 o'clock that previous morning. Starry had also been in the car for, like, 4 hours. We were all conked out. It was funny, because Rachel said that we were supposed to get white girl wasted. I did not have a drink in that apartment. I forgot my drink. Which I think was really funny. But I mean, I drank when I needed to. I got a little tipsy at least twice, but for Saturday, it was just getting to the airport, and, you know, and then we slept. And I was up until about, like, 2 o'clock in the morning. Hello, Ripley. What's up, I'm doing fucking laundry. I like laundry. Everyone was so tired by the time we got in. Yes, definitely. Me, not so much. I was really excited, but I had just been sitting in a fucking airport, so I was just happy to not be in an airport. I didn't hate being in the- Hi, Cass! I didn't hate being in the airport, but I was happy to no longer be in one, if that makes sense. So, Sunday morning. We are up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I immediately get ready. I get ready really, really quickly. I can be ready in maybe 30, 40 minutes tops. So I'm ready before 9 a.m. The itinerary for this day was go to the Queensboro, or get breakfast, go to the Queensboro Bridge, head out down to New York for Pride, and then sushi, and then the show. So here's the thing about this trip that I didn't really get a chance to explain to people in the Discord server. Hi, Cass. This wasn't my trip, right? I had some people suggesting me to go do certain things. I was a tag along on this trip. This was not my New York trip, and what I mean by that is, by the time I had decided I was going, Rachel and Starry had already kind of made up an itinerary. Who's dropping? Cass? Thank you. It won't go away, sorry. Dude.
It won't go away, sorry.
Thank you for using your Prime sub for the 4-month resub, Cass. I really appreciate that. It is, my birthday's coming up, so all of this is going to go towards my birthday month, which is really nice. I really appreciate that. Let me show off the cup that I got at New York, too. Oh, sorry, I left some up. So it was Queensboro Bridge, and then it was Pride, and then it was go shopping a little bit, and then it was sushi, and then it was the show. Now, that didn't go as planned almost at all. And I don't quite know what it was. And I won't get into it because I don't want to, like, talk shit or anything, right? But we were at the Queensboro Bridge for maybe less than a half an hour. And so I got the filming done that I needed to, but not everything, which was a real shame. And I will let you guys know this right now so that I can find a way to make it up to you. I was not able to read the usernames for the fundraiser at the bridge. I really wanted to. I tried to rush things, but Rachel and Starry had already called the Uber when we were done. And so I couldn't. I will make that up to you. I have a plan. Or, you know, I got a plan. I'm really, really sorry. I really tried, but it was not my trip. I couldn't just say, no, we're staying. You know what I mean? It was incredibly hectic. I hope that you understand. I'll try to make it up to you somehow. I have a plan to make it up to you. But I really do apologize that I was not able to say the names in front of the bridge. Or really in New York, you know what I mean? We had to because sushi was so close and then the show, it was a tight schedule. It's our fault, sorry, Starla. That wasn't it. It was the Pride Parade. It wasn't sushi. It was the Pride Parade that made us have to go early. Because we were there at like 11 a.m. We had, that's what I remember. It's all good. Yeah. So, but that was wild too. We rushed to get to Pride because we were supposed to meet up with other people, but they kind of just like went out on their own and they were supposed to meet us somewhere and didn't. And let me just tell you, okay, so this is where I'm probably gonna seem like an asshole, right? My first Pride Parade ever. My first Pride event ever. I don't see the point in how it's done. Not that I don't see the point in it being a thing, because I absolutely do, but here's the thing, right? We get there, and you can't go anywhere. The city is basically shut down. Like, hey, hello TX, yeah. I lost my stream streak. I just realized I lost, like, all of my stream streaks while I was out, except the one on Midnight and Domo, so I feel that. I 100% feel that, Cass. No hearts at all. No, I mean, like, no broken hearts, I mean. I'm all good. So we get there, and, like, there are way too many fucking people. Like, you cannot take a step as much as you want. If you want to cross the street, you're standing with a bunch of bodies. It's like 27 degrees out, like 95 degrees out. I lost yours in Midnights? Oh, damn, I'm sorry. That's probably because of the Monday stream. And so, it's like you can't go anywhere, and, you know, Rachel and or at least Rachel was hyping it up, saying like, oh yeah, there's gonna be vendors, you can get Pride stuff. There was barely any Pride stuff. They were selling flags, and that's it. No, I didn't see any buttons. I didn't see any, like, she, her, he, him. I barely saw any trans flags. I saw gay flags. I saw pride flags. I think I saw a few lesbian. I barely saw any trans flags on sale. No pan, no genderqueer, no non-binary, no demisexual, nothing. Nothing of the sorts I saw being on sale. And the flags, which were like the size of my phone, by the way, maybe 10 USD, which would almost be 20 CAD. And so I started to walk around, and there's all of these people that are doing nothing but talking and smoking weed, and all of these vendors that are selling flags and stuff for, like, way more than I think they should be. And I'm walking around and I'm thinking, what's the point? And, like, don't get me wrong, right? New York is an entirely different state of mind, okay? You guys don't get to be as open about your identity as we do. I recognize that. And so a lot of people, even when we walked up to the parade, Rachel said out loud, I already feel 100% safer. And that didn't clock for me. And I was just like, I don't understand. Because why the fuck are they selling flags for $10 for Pride Month, but not representing even the basic identities? There wasn't, like, you know how the pride flag, you know how the gay flag isn't necessarily the rainbow flag anymore and it's actually got its own colors? That wasn't there. The gay flag was the rainbow flag. They're not even up to date with it. And it's New York. You know what I mean? And so I started to be like, I don't see the point in this. But I have to remember, that day, that parade is probably a lot of people's only time that they can be themselves, okay? If you can walk out in my city, hello Twilight, hello girl, you can walk out in my city in a fursuit and be fine, alright? Like, I'm not saying that you won't get heckled, but I guarantee you would be more safe walking around in a fursuit, even in Toronto, than you would anywhere in America. So I recognize that it is probably their one and only time that they truly feel safe. But it didn't feel like pride. It felt like profit. Does that make sense? Like, it didn't make me feel like I should feel thankful. It made me feel like they were trying to profit off of me not being a normie. You know? I'll have to ask my friend how Toronto's pride was in comparison, because my stepsister and my furry friend both were there. It was just like, like, if smaller pride parades are way better, I can see that. But for my first pride, whatever. And we didn't even stay that long. It was just too big, and we couldn't find the people that we were looking for, and it was so overwhelmed. We left Pride more faster than we left the Queensboro Bridge. And I was like, maybe we should go back, and we were supposed to, but then we decided that we wouldn't want to because we wanted to walk around New York a little bit. And then, so that's what we did. Especially with New York being as big as it is, there's a lot of rainbow capitalism going on. It's crazy. It was crazy, dude. It didn't feel like pride, it felt like profit. My fucking nose is all stuffy. It was too much for me because I was like panicking from all the people and noise. I felt bad. Starry, I promise you, I was about to ask for us to leave as well. Like, full stop. I kept looking back at you. Because she got, like, lost behind us, too. She got lost behind us in the crowd while we were trying to cross the street. I kept looking back at her, and I was about to ask Rachel if we could leave. Because I was like, I don't see the fucking point in being here. And it also just sucked. Because compared to the bridge had, like, no one. You will see the footage when I upload my video. The bridge was empty, basically. Besides, like, people playing volleyball. So that would have been such a peaceful place to hang out. And it really does. That's probably, I can't really regret it because it wasn't my choice. Maybe I should have fought a little bit harder for it. I don't know. But it sucks that we couldn't stay. But no worries. I'll be going back to New York, I bet even sometime next year. Like, I want to. I want to go back and make it a thing. I really, really do. I would have gotten so overstimulated. It really was. It really was bad. I'm gonna get some dinner in my oven. Why do they call it a dude? Hold on, do I have it? I do, yes. It really unfortunate because Toledo Pride fucking rocks. You never know. Maybe I'll go to a Toronto Pride next year. I'm thinking for New York, maybe I'll go in May or July afterwards. Or even August. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe not when it's so hot. Probably closer to like April, May. You know? We'll see. We'll see. Anyways. If you want to be somewhere weird and gay, it's Portland or San Francisco. The vibe is so much different. San Francisco? See, I'm weird when it comes to traveling because I don't want to just go somewhere. I want to have a reason for it, you know? That's why I'm like, I'm not... The next time I go to America, if it's not New York, it's going to be like Arkansas to visit Domo, you know? Like that would be the only reason. I haven't been to New York City since 2023. I don't know how different it was then. But it was still nice. So like, okay, so Sunday we go to the Nintendo store. I get some souvenirs for my friends since Goat and Stooge were very kind enough to give me... Hello, Twilight. Were very kind enough to give me some extra change. I got them some stuff. I can even show you something that I got Goat. This is what I got for Goat. It was for my birthday. Oh, nice. I got this for Goat because he mains Piranha Plant and Smash. So I figured he'd like it. It's cute. It's like stiff. You can like point it up if you want. Or you can bend it and like have it be out like that. I don't know if you can close his mouth. Well, it closes for like... But you can't really... You can't keep it closed. But that's cool, right? That's what I got him. And then I got... I can show you what I got my sister, because I think this is cute. I also want to check to make sure it's not broken. This is what I got for my sister. Just little piggy bank that says I Heart New York City. I think it's very cute. I think she'll think it's cute. Let me take the tag off of this, though, because she's probably going to be like, this is all you spent on me? And it's like, girl, I went to fucking New York. Leave me alone. But yeah, that's pretty cute, right? Just a cute little piggy bank. I have a piggy bank. I have a elephant piggy bank back there that I'll probably put some change into. I just broke that. I didn't break the piggy bank. I broke the paper that was wrapped around it. And then for my mom, I just got this fridge magnet because I don't think she'd want anything big, but they do need more fridge magnet because they keep losing some. So I have the same one. I have the same fridge magnet. So let's put all of this back up here. Let's make sure it's not gonna fall like that. Let's put, yep, there we go. And boom. Is that the bank you need to break, or do it got a hole in the bottom? I think you need to break it. But maybe she'll just think it's cute, you know? You can shake it and get the coins out from the bottom, right? So anyways, after the Nintendo store, we head to the sushi place, and I will be very frank. I didn't like it. Listen, I have never spent more than $20 on sushi, okay? I'm not well-versed in Japanese culture. I'm not smart enough to be well-versed in Japanese culture. And it was not only expensive, but why is the sushi wet? Why is everything in New York a little wet? I got like 3 little pieces of sushi because I didn't want to spend like $40 on sushi. And then I was like, you know what? I'll get a little bit of sushi and then I'll get some shrimp tempura. Because every single time I've gotten shrimp tempura, it's been like nice and thick and it's always filled me up. So I'm like, you know what? That's something that I trust, right? I'll trust some shrimp tempura. When it came in, it was the smallest little bowl. $30, by the way. The smallest little bowl, the size of my fucking hand. All right? The size of this fucking bear. No, smaller than this bear. And they weren't even like long pieces of shrimp tempura. They were like popcorn chicken. And then the sushi that I got was like another $10, $20. So I paid $70 fucking for nothing. At all. I can get more sushi at my fucking mall for 15 CAD. I would have rioted. Dude, when I saw it, I should have been like, never mind, I don't want this. But I was just like, everybody was talking, and everybody was sharing, and everyone had all this money that I didn't. Like, it was... I had never felt, and like, we were walking around underground in the subway, we were in Ubers. I felt more out of place in this sushi restaurant than I did at Pride. That was when I wanted to cry. Like, it was being in that sushi place and not knowing what the fuck anything was, and knowing I had no money to be buying this shit. I shouldn't have just gotten anything. I liked it. I liked the shrimp, but maybe I'm just American. I'm sorry, but that was, like, my least favorite part of the trip was going to that place. I know that, like, Jschlatt had been there before, and it was, like, kind of iconic and aesthetic. I'm the kind of person, I live on the poverty line, okay? I do not want to be dropping $70 on sushi that's smaller than my fucking pinky nail. Or, like, shrimp. Like, actually just crazy shit, okay? Actually... I'm more of a ramen person. They didn't even have noodles, I don't think. It was fucking wild. What are you trying to do? Twilight is scratching at my door? Twilight? What are you doing? She's scratching at my door. That's actually crazy. Dude, it was like... I felt so fucking out of place, and everyone else is having such a wonderful time. I didn't speak to almost anybody except Starry. I didn't, like, I was, and it was just, and that's kind of, like, I like sushi, don't get me wrong, but I don't really want to have sushi for dinner, and that's the problem with sushi, is that the poverty line was my glass ceiling growing up. If it's not on the dollar menu, I feel like I gotta sell my organs. If it's anything more than $10, then I have to rethink shit, you know what I mean? I can get, like, a big fucking thing of sushi at my mall for less than 20 CAD, and that would be filling. What I got? Not at all. I should have gotten, like, the California roll platter. I would have spent, like, $50 less, but I didn't fucking trust it. I didn't trust it. I trusted the one thing that I recognized on the fucking menu, and I feel like I got scammed. Like, I feel like like, this is what I mean, right? And this is what made me a little bit sketchy about, like, the culture of the country, or the culture of the state, and about how, like, you gotta get an American a slice of pizza, and you gotta get a New York hot dog, which I didn't, by the way. I couldn't. We had nowhere that sold hot dogs. And so, like, whatever. We left, and here is where the best part started to happen, because we went to the show, right? We went to the Jschlatt show, and let me backtrack a little bit to come back to this, to the story about the seating. So, in the middle of April, I got my ticket to the show, right? And it was row L, I think, like, seat 60 something. I'm pretty sure everybody except, like, one person that was in this group chat for the show had VIP tickets. And I was kind of memeing on the fact that I regretted not having a VIP ticket. That was slowly turning into actually regretting not having a VIP ticket. And it was Rachel and Starry that was like, hey, were you in the front or the back? Well, here we go. Here we go. And row L would have been rather far back. It would have been very far back. So here's where I get into this cast. Rachel and Starry are telling me to check Ticketmaster, you know, every couple hours or so, because you never know. You never know. Someone new joins the group chat by the name of Soda, and they say, I just scored VIP tickets. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean? You just got here. I just found out you existed 5 seconds ago, and you're already ahead of the fucking game. And Soda was like, well, there's one more, and this is at like 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm not even awake yet. I don't see these messages until 2 hours later. And I go and check, and yes, there is another ticket, and it's for row C, but it doesn't say VIP. And Soda said that their ticket said VIP, but they were technically like in pairs or something. And so I was like, I'll buy it. Now keep in mind, VIP prices, as far as I was aware, in Canada was about 120 CAD. This ticket was 109 CAD. And I got it on StubHub. When I transferred it over to Ticketmaster, sure enough, it was VIP. And the punchline is, Starry got their ticket like day one. I was a row ahead of them. I think Soda was in the front row, but everybody else I was in front of. And I was right fucking there. I got this ticket 3 days before my flight. Wild, okay? Wild shit. So I was right fucking there, and I got to be part of the Q&A. I got my poster, which is hanging up on my wall over here, and I taped $1 to it. Fucking dunked on. No, not dunked on. Maybe to one of them, but not dunked on. Starry and Rachel had some pretty interesting seats as well, considering Ted stepped on her foot. Apparently, Starry had her foot stepped on by Ted, which is wild. Which is fucking wild. What was my favorite part of the show? Honestly, that's hard. The entire thing was fantastic. We had a few different, we've seen footage of it, so I guess I can talk about it. So the show had a bunch of different segments. It started with, like, the Q&A, right? Lumbering oaf. Yeah, dude, for real. Fucking giant man syndrome. Has no regard for anybody that's 5 feet, eh? Dude, I feel like New England LARPer because in my experience, dude, New York pincer is just not good, bro. Ripley, I'm about to get to that. Ripley, I'm about to validate you so hard. So here's what happened, right? So it starts off with an opening monologue. Well, the Q&A was interesting because Jschlatt actually answered my question. First of all, okay, hold on, let me gather my bearings. I accidentally heckled. I was the first one to accidentally, or not accidentally heckle. What happened was, they were supposed to be selling the Christmas vinyls at the show. They were selling shirts, sweaters, posters, and then they were supposed to sell the Jschlatt Christmas vinyl. Instead, Matcha Peanut Butter showed up. And he was telling that story. He was talking about how the peanut butter showed up instead of the vinyls, and so they decided to just sell that. While everybody else was laughing, I turned to the person that I was sitting next to. His name is Bread. He apparently bought... Jschlatt did this charity live stream where he sawed off a cardboard cutout of the Pope's head and sold it on auction. I was sitting next to the guy who had bought it. His name is Bread. Fantastic person. And I was sitting next to Bread, and I turned to him and go, "Was your name on it?" And just as I start speaking, the crowd quiets. So to Jschlatt, he hears me go, "Was your name on it?" And he goes, "That's enough." He points directly at me, makes eye contact and says, "That's enough." Whole fucking room erupts, right? I laugh because I didn't mean for him to hear me. I wasn't trying to heckle. And then he relaxes and goes, no, they didn't have my name on it. They just showed up. And I could tell, right? He wasn't mad. Maybe a part of him was like, don't, and that was a warning. But I could tell that it was just like anxiety. And the fact that he answered my question told me that like what I had done was fine, right? But they made it very clear throughout the show not to heckle. I didn't even know it was your voice when it happened. Yeah, that was me. That was me. Bread can attest that was me. And I felt bad, but I also laughed because he seemed cool with it. It was a good question. It was a good question. But I didn't mean to ask it, and I'm a little embarrassed about it, but you know. So I was the first one to heckle. Whoops. I heard some cool words like loud, and he told him to shut the fuck up or something. That might have happened at our show. So after the Q&A segment, he answered some questions. And he actually answered my question. I had asked, has the gruff New York persona ever held you back creatively? Like, has it ever held you back from doing something or creating something that you've wanted to make, right? The security was telling us to line to the door, do not heckle or we will toss you. It was serious business. Yes. And someone actually got kicked out of the Saturday show. 2 people got kicked out of the Saturday show. So, you know. I think we had a bit more leniency with being in the Q&A because 3 other people heckled during that Q&A and none of us were kicked out. In fact, the people behind me during the show were constantly going off, but you know, whatever. And so I had asked, has the gruff New York persona ever stopped you from doing or creating something that you want to do? Has it ever held you back? And he actually said no, and that in fact it has actually not only helped him, but has often elevated it. Like he kind of uses it as an asset nowadays and no longer holds it as like a mask, which I found to be really interesting. I actually really liked that answer, and I was also just happy that my question was answered because I asked it at like the last second, you know? And for those that you are asking, no, I did not. It wasn't like a thing where you raise your hand and he picks you out in the crowd. because he probably wanted to hear as little of people as possible. It was like there was a QR code that you scan in the live audience and you type in your question there. And what's interesting is that they had you write your name and your seat number, but he doesn't say your name. Like, he didn't say Starla in seat 106 asks, he just read the question on his computer. So that was really interesting how they had us, like, write our names down. But, you know, it was still really cool. So after the Q&A, the show actually started, and it was good. It was great. It was fantastic. Here's another interesting note. A couple things, actually. So, you guys already probably know by now, Ted Nivison was the special guest of the show. And the way that he showed up was really funny. He, like, came out from the back doors, and he ran down the stands, and he, like, pretended to, like, want to fight people to the theme of Start a Fight by Bray and Joey Valance. That was the theme that he came out to, and it was really funny, because I saw him come down the middle. I saw him, like, getting ready to fist fight the people to our left, and then he ran back up, and I lost him. Like, I'm watching it, and I'm trying to see where he is, and me and Brett are like, where the fuck did he go? Next thing I know, he's coming up way over to the left, and then I saw him take the phone, yeah, I saw a clip of him taking someone's phone, I saw that, and he gives it back, and he goes back up, and he's gone again. And the doors are closed, so he's not going through the doors, and then he comes up to our right again, and then goes upstage. And it was just like, holy fuck, dude, how much coke did you do in the back before doing this? No, I don't think they did anything. I wouldn't be surprised, though, because it's LA and New York. But, wild performance, right? So, this is where it started to feel a little bit like fate, okay? I am a woman that can develop fixations. And it's not your typical fixations. It's anything even in the back, if I'm being honest. It's not anything like this. I developed something called a favorite person. And it's supposed to be someone that I know never IRL, but it never is. My previous fixation. Here it comes. My previous fixation was Seth MacFarlane. Yes, that's Seth MacFarlane. Yes, the Family Guy. Yes. The beginning bit. And I'm not in this fixation anymore, right? And I didn't even watch Family Guy. But when I had the Seth MacFarlane fixation, I had orange hair. So there was a whole joke about, like, Pina, the horse is here. Like, and me being Lois, right? Ha ha. She's got the Lois hair and she likes the Family Guy, blah, 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 blah. The opening bit is Ted talking about how he doesn't want Jschlatt to be able to monetize the VOD of the show. So he stands up and commands everyone to start singing the Family Guy theme song. I was fucking destined to be at this show. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I'm not religious, okay? I'm not. But I'm a huge believer in fate and destiny. I was destined to be at this fucking show. How are you going to tell me that, like, years after my previous fixation, my first ever live show, first ever concert, mind you, references Family Guy? Huh. Like, and amazing. I'm so happy you came, bro. How cool was it that Ted showed up? It was crazy. It was a fantastic time. It was good. Maybe I should have packed this, but I wasn't sure if I should have. I got my little guy here. This is more YouTuber merch too, because I got the poster now. I've got the shirt and the sweater. I got this. Ted, can you fucking please make more merch? This is ridiculous. Your last merch ran out the second that I became a fan, and I got the Chuckle merch, and I got the Schloster now. I have you and Jschlatt and the Chuckle Boys on a coaster. That's not even official merch. Can you sell, like, a fucking shirt? I'll take a goddamn handkerchief. This is ridiculous. This man he wants to make money or what? Come on, dude. I'm looking at reselling websites just to find this guy's merch. Ted's? Yeah, dude. You know what's funny about this U2's? I found it on Amazon. Amazon was just selling it on their U2's website through Amazon. You know, when's the next Lunch Club merch drop? I've been waiting for so long. When's the next Normal Boots merch drop? Let's talk about that. I don't give a fuck about Lunch Club. I'm sorry. Lunch Club, you guys are babies. The real pain comes from being a Normal Boots fan. Lunch Club ran for what, less than a year? Come on. You wanna know when Normal Boots died and came back so many fucking times? I don't wanna fucking hear it. I'm kidding. No, I'm sure it's... You guys went through the same shit. I get it. Oh, we got an ad going. Okay, we'll chill for a bit. I think it was less than half a year. You guys are a bunch of babies. It was less? Yeah, see, Normal Boots ran for a lot fucking longer. How do you think I felt when PB and Jeff broke up, dude? But PBG Gameplay is uploading. I am going to... While the ad is running, I'm gonna throw up the fact that I'm streaming right now, because I don't think everybody's here. Back from Come on, dude. New York. I'm talking here. But no, the show was fantastic. Okay, let's put that there. Let's do Link. Why does this, it always changes where Link goes and it pisses me off. Like, what is this, a Zelda game? I only watched Lunch Club for Ted. He was a fucking tiny guy, dude. Like, that motherfucker looks like he did theater. And he did do theater, but like, he's scrawny. Scrawny little weed-smoking white boy. You know? That's surprising. Not that. Sorry, it's just him being as tiny as he was surprising. Alright, we're back. Alright, perfect. So, they had a couple bits. So after Ted came on stage, they did a presentation bit where us as the audience would log into this app on our phone or log onto this website, and so like, for example, like Ted would be sitting at the desk by the laptop and Jschlatt would be up and would be like facing away from the monitor, and certain things would pop up on the monitor, like certain images and certain topics would pop up. So there would be one topic that was like, why I'm gay, and there was another topic that was like, I have dementia, and there was another topic that was like, why I hate Ted, or something like that, and we got to vote on our phones which one he would have to say, and so he wasn't allowed to look and see what he was going to be presenting until it would pop up on the screen. And so we got to vote for like what photos would be used, and like the vibe of it and all of that, and then at the very end, Jschlatt gave his presentation, and he had to improvise the whole thing. And then later on, Jschlatt sat down and Ted did his presentation, where we picked some stuff. And what I loved about Ted's presentation is, another one of my fixations, in fact, you could argue my very first fixation, was Markiplier. Markiplier was in Ted's presentation twice. They used an image of Markiplier, and then we voted on it, I voted on it, and then the same image came up again, but stretched out. So not only was my Seth MacFarlane fixation directly shouted out, but so was my Markiplier fixation. Which is just, it was wild. And so, I remember Ted's more because I actually filmed it, but it was like, it was supposed to be like, why I hate Jschlatt, and then the picture of Markiplier showed up, and he had to be like, I talked to Markiplier one day, and he was the one that warned me about Jschlatt, and it was just like a wild thing. Was it the one where he's like smirking? It's like, he's outside. I bet I could find the image if I just look up Markiplier. He's outside, and he's like, yeah, hold on, it was this one. It was this one, and then it again, but stretched out. And I just think that's so funny. The forces of the universe came together for you to be there, my god. It was fate, Christy. It was fate that I needed to be there, okay? Life is crazy. I love that fuck-ass image. It's so funny. Did they have his fat iron lung titties or not? No, but there was a bit about it because one of the images that we got to vote on was like this like model image of rock hard abs, and it popped up and Ted was like, this is what he looks like. Obviously you can tell this is what he looks like, and there's Jschlatt's in the back, right? Because he can see the images on his computer. Jschlatt's in the back, and as the image pops up, he goes like, he gets right up on the fucking monitor. And just stares at the image. Oh my god, it was so fucking funny. It was so funny. And I didn't even notice it at first until my friend, like, patted my arm and turned me, and then you can see Jschlatt's right there on the fucking monitor looking down at the abs. Oh my god, dude, it was so fucking funny. The fucking prophecy and fate was chosen, for real. Jschlatt's prophecy works in its mysterious ways. Oh, dude, it was so funny. It was so funny. Okay, so after the presentations, they moved on to guessing tweets. They would put up a tweet on the big board, and we would have to guess whether or not it was a Ted tweet or a Jschlatt tweet. The guy next to me was going well, like, Brad was guessing them pretty quickly, but then they started to get kind of crazy with it. They put up a tweet that said, and I quote, "I've never seen a skinny person with a Diet Coke." And I was like, that's probably a Jschlatt tweet. No, that was from the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. "I've never seen a skinny bitch with a Diet Coke." That was a tweet from the President, Donald J. Trump. And from 2012, apparently. Yeah, he said that? Yeah, which is funny, because when I told that to Stooge, Stooge goes, "He drinks Diet Coke." He goes, "But he drinks Diet Coke," and I'm like, doesn't that explain a lot? Also, fuck you! Hello? Need I fucking remind you? Skinny bitches never drink Diet Coke, huh? What the fuck does that mean? What does that make me? Do you think I got this figure from drinking fucking regular Coca-Cola? No! Fuck you! Bitch! Okay, body tea. Yeah, go fuck yourself, dude. And I just had a fucking burger. Dude. Eat my fucking tits. Bunk. No, why is he tweeting that? It was in 2012. So it was before he was like a candidate and all that. And then, yeah, so they started to do a bit. And this built up to the very end of the show. They started to do a bit where Jschlatt was making fake tweets in Ted's name. And there was one tweet that was like, "I'm voting for Donald Trump in 2028 and you should too." And Ted's like, "No, I didn't tweet that, not at all." And then the last tweet was, yeah, anybody down for a quick fuck between 24th and 3rd or something like that? I have like 5 minutes. And the tweet had been posted like yesterday, 5 minutes before the previous show. That was a fake tweet. But it started this whole bit where like Ted got really upset and left, right? And he gets his mic taken off. And so he leaves, right? Hello, the Coke Milkman. Dude, I got some Coke up here. You got, I got Diet, decaf. I've got, Coke Zero decaf. And I just showed off my Diet Coke. I like Coca-Cola, so I fucking feel you on that, dog. I feel you on that. How you doing? I'm a bit stuffed up, so sorry that I sound a little weird. I mean, he still is delusional. He only says shit to reporters now. Didn't he say that he talked with Theodore Roosevelt today? Hasn't that been trending? Drinking Diet Coke right now also. Right now I have a Coke Zero decaf because I live in Canada, and for some reason, a lot of Canadians really like decaf Diet Coke, so I have a Coke Zero. But I really like Coca-Cola. I have Diet Coke earrings and everything. But welcome in. I'm talking about the trip to New York that I went on. We're talking about the Jschlatt live show. Trump just said he'd have a three-way with his sons. Get the fuck out. Did he actually? Are you fucking with me? Holy shit. That's wild. That's wild. Coke Zero decaf for the win. My dad really likes Coke Zero, so I'm kind of getting it from him. So Ted leaves, right? He really said it? Dude. He really is gonna go down, So Ted walks out, right? And and it becomes just a TikTok reaction segment. Sprung! Hello, Sprung. Half a year. Sweet Potato Hitler. Yeah, dude. You got the gold star now, son. Let's fucking go. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Sweet Potato Hitler is a fantastic term for that. Water time? I do have water. I do. My nose is so stuffed up, dude. Okay, so it starts a TikTok reaction segment, and I'm not fucking with you when I say that. They were probably preloaded, right? I can tell that they were preloaded, but sometimes he wouldn't, like, always know what they were. And there were a few references, like the guy, the person of color guy that sits in his car and goes like, what if we were driving and I drove up next to you and we made eye contact? Like that guy showed up. I gotta go. Love Island is about to start. I will be back if you're still alive. Thanks for hanging out, Cass. I appreciate you being here. And thanks for hanging out. You're pretty cool, dude. And so, yeah, that guy comes up and he actually says, like, the Jschlatt live show. And me and Brad, who met each other maybe an hour ago, are like, patting each other about it. Dude, Brad was fucking awesome. Shout out Brad on Twitter. Brad, the guy who owns the Pope Head, I don't know if you're watching this, but I think you're fucking awesome. Phenomenal, dude. I have to send my footage to him. I keep forgetting. Fantastic guy. He was so funny, too. And, oh, I forgot a segment. Okay, so this was another funny thing that happened, right? Let's go back to the presentation segment. At one point, part of the presentation is for Ted to come up to a member of the audience and bully them. And so, when he was given this segment, he starts walking up to the front of my row. And I get a little nervous, but I don't think he's gonna pick a woman. No, instead, he picks the 4 guys behind me, all wearing the same shirt, all hooting and hollering. And he starts picking on them and calling them a bunch of frat bros, and then he, like, gives up the bit, right? He calls back to them 3, maybe 4 more times. The second time, he says, the 4 of these guys, right? And whenever we're all cheering, they start going, hoo, 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 hoo. I start joining them. To the point where, like, when I started joining them, one of them patted me on the back, and I would turn around and go, like, hoo, 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 and, like, do it with them. From that point on, Ted would start lumping me in with them. It stopped being those 4 and started being you guys. And he would, like, point at me and do this. He started to lump me in with them because I would be like, hoo, 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 like with them. It was fucking wild, dude. I accidentally became probably one of the biggest pick-me's in that show, but not really because I was respectful. And it was just wild. It was so funny when he started to lump me in, and I'm like, what do you say fuck me for? But I was like, I just thought it was funny. They were loud, and I wanted to be fucking hooting and hollering, you know? I don't care. I was having fun. So that was a little bit before the Twitter segment. And so during the reaction segment, every now and then, the Ted TikToks would start popping up where he would be in his outfit that he was wearing, and he'd be like, the tag would be like, trigger warning Jschlatt, and he'd be like, Jschlatt's making up all these fake tweets about me, he's mocking me in his show, and I think I gotta do something about it. And then we would scroll and see a few more TikToks, and then Ted would come back again and be like, you know, the more I think about it, the more pissed I'm getting, like, he's just really saying all this shit, and I think we gotta go beyond canceling him. I think that we gotta stop this guy. And then finally it gets to, like, the final one of his, and he's just, like, mad. He's just like, and he's just making noises. Jschlatt continues watching some TikToks, continues, like, I don't know, watching some guy slamming a bottle on the floor. Ted walks out from the curtains and grabs the flower pot that's been sitting on the desk and slams it over Jschlatt's head. We all start, like, screaming and laughing, and he, like, picks up the other one, and he walks off, and he drops it, and he goes, like, fuck you, and leaves. Dude, it was such a fantastic way to end the night. It was so funny to see, like, it was so interesting to see them have a running bit with a satisfying punchline. Like, just a way to get everybody screaming and, like, really build it up. Some people were expecting different guests. Like, some people were expecting scene anners, some people were expecting Connor Eats Pants. At one point, Jschlatt teased Mamdani, the mayor of New York, was going to be in the show, but apparently they emailed him and he said no. I don't know if that was a bit, but that's what he said. And I could honestly I couldn't picture it being anybody but Ted, because Jschlatt made it very clear he did not want to do the show. Like, I think everybody that isn't a basic Jschlatt fan knows this was not Jschlatt's idea. I do not believe it was his idea. He says that he, like, sold Jschlatt, and it's not even really him anymore. I also learned some other really interesting things about that I won't share because it's kind of private. But, like, I couldn't picture it being anybody but Ted because he needed Ted up there. Ted is much more extroverted. He is much more willing to put on a show. Jschlatt needed someone up there that was going to keep up the audience when he couldn't. He needed, like, I genuinely feel like he needed emotional support, and I don't think Connor Eats Pants would have had the energy that he needed. Like, at all. It needed to be Ted. It 100% needed to be Ted, especially with how long they've known each other, how much they've worked together. He said he enjoyed Tommy Innett's show so much that he was thinking of doing his own, but I think Ted for sure helped support him. I feel like he wouldn't have done it if it wasn't Ted. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but based on just, like, how apprehensive he was about it, and just, like, Ted was the one interacting a lot with the audience, and Jschlatt was just kind of doing his bits, you know what I mean? But Ted was even the one continuously calling out to the fucking 5 of us that were, hoo, 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 you know? Jschlatt wasn't doing that. The only time Jschlatt spoke up to a member of the audience was to tell them to shut the fuck up, which relays me back to the comment I believe it was either Christy or Cass that had made where someone was just yelling. Yes, there was a woman on Rachel and Starry's side that was apparently continuously trying to speak and talk to him. And it was to the point where, like, the last time he said, shut the fuck up, if this wasn't the end of the show, you would have been fucking gone. Like, that's enough. And it was a completely different tone to how he had said it to me at the beginning of the night. Completely different tone. I could tell. And it was just like, damn, you know? There were a couple. There was, like, one person that did it once and then stopped, but that person apparently did it, like, 3 times after that. Which, you know... Shit's wild. One thing that I found to be really, really funny is at the end of the show, we're walking up, right? They're playing My Way by Frank Sinatra as we all leave and we're all singing along. And as the instrumental's playing, we're leaving out the back door and I hear like this to my left. And I look and this person, in this small person, is like, doing this, right? Super fucking excited. And I'm like, haha, you know, Jschlatt fans, am I right? We get back to the hotel a couple hours later, and I look on twitter.com, and I see a tweet. And I hear a loud giggle, what? Yeah, so I'm telling a story. So I'll back up a little bit. Ripley, while we were leaving, I hear this really loud giggle to my left. We're leaving, and we're going up, and we're going through the lineup, and it's playing My Way, and I just hear like a, and I look, and someone's doing this, and someone's really excited. They look smaller than me, okay? I thought they were like a child. But when we get back to the hotel, I see a tweet of someone saying that the show wasn't good. They were like, the show was, like, bad, but, like, like, I went to it even though that it was bad. And I look at their Twitter profile, it's the same person. What a fucking LARPer. He's not gonna fuck you, bro. Like, I'm telling you, because I could tell it was the same person because they had taken a picture with the Pope head, and it was the same outfit. It was the same, like, one-piece plaid outfit from the person that had gone like, wow! And now they're, like, on the show. The show actually wasn't, it was actually so bad. Like, I can't believe I went to that. It was so bad. You were, like, giddy. I bet you went backstage and looked for them after. Like, don't fucking, I can see through your fucking games. It was so wild. It was so wild to see that. And I told Starry immediately. I was like, didn't you hear them scream? Only person that did that in the audience, by the way. I didn't hear anything else. They must have been rage baiting. There's no, like, other explanation. I don't know, because they quote retweeted one of their own tweets. It was like, it was so bad, guys. Like, I can't believe how bad it was. Either way, it's fucking fake. It was so undeniably fake. I feel like I was the only one that was actually like, no, this was really good. Also, like, that's the whole thing, right? Why do Jschlatt fans feel like they need to be Jschlatt? Why are you stealing his personality? Can you not be your own person, you know? Like just admit that it was good. I don't think Jschlatt wants to fucking hear. I think I saw a Discord post of that one time where people were, like, insulting him and he had to reply and be like, hey guys, I haven't laughed at a single one of these comments. Just thought I would let you know. He doesn't want you to react like that. He doesn't want you to say that the show was bad, dude. That's not cool. It's not funny. Like, I don't know. For the first time in my life, I actually understood why people don't like Jschlatt fans. Cause, I had a couple run-ins with some Jschlatt fans, and just like, whew. Incredibly pretentious. Very chronically online. Like, it's just crazy. I don't know, I've always felt like a large part of his online personality is the fact that he does kind of act like a dickhead, and I don't know why people try to, why people try to encapsulate that. It's at the very beginning of his career, it was meant to be a mask. Now, it's an asset. But what I don't understand is why fans think that they need to act the same to get his approval. He said the best part was hearing people laugh in real time to bits, which is sweet. Yeah, like, he was very clearly, even though he probably didn't really want to do it, it seemed like he was having a fun time being up there with Ted. It seemed like they enjoyed doing the bits. He locked in. It actually took me a little bit of, like, seeing him up there to realize that I wasn't watching a video. Because of how good it was. They didn't ever really break. And it was very curious. It was very awesome. Like, it was just good. To pretend like it was bad, it just kind of makes you sound lame. I'm gonna steal this quote. Where's your fucking whimsy, dude? Fuck you. Actually, like, you're lame as fuck if you thought that was bad. Motherfucker probably thought that was bad and then goes back and watches, like, fucking, I don't know, Attack on Titan or some shit, you know? Whatever. So after the show, we got a little bit lost because everyone was trying to get home from both the parade and the show, and it was just kind of nuts. At one point, we get to Penn Station, and we go underground, and we go to this, some people don't have any magic in their soul, and it shows. Or they're just fucking lame. Like, they're just whatever, you know, high-sprung. And, okay, so, yeah, I went out to a scheduled live comedy show, and it sucked. Like, what's wrong with you? You went to it? Yeah, some people went to it, like, on purpose to see how bad it was. So they went into it with very specific expectations, and they kind of ruined it for themselves, you know? Like, whatever. Be fucking lame then, that's fine. So we go into this pizza joint called Rose Pizza in Penn Station, and I'm gonna let you guys know right now, worst pizza I think I've ever tasted. What is it with New York food being wet? Why is everything wet? Is this the state of wet? Is it Empire State of Moist by Jay-Z and Alicia Keys? I don't understand. We went to Rose's Pizza after. It was a pizza place he's mentioned multiple times that he loves. Well, he's fucking wrong. Holy fuck. Actually, some of the worst pizza I've ever tasted. It's wet until you get the thinnest crust ever, then it's cardboard. But it was, like, soaked. Like, it felt like you dipped it in someone. Like, it was just bad. Like, I didn't taste anything but wet and sauce. It was gross. I have had better pizza in my fucking grocery store. Giuseppe's Pizza is the shit. Maybe I gotta go to, like, an outside vendor, but it was, like, thin, and it was just, why? Why is it wet? Why is it moist? Why is it soaked? Why is it quivering? I don't understand. A fight broke out? Yeah, no, it did. And I glanced, and Rachel went, no. And I had to look down, like, dude. Oh, dude. I'm actually so upset that the pizza was that bad, too. Like, it was just... Maybe y'all just got a bad slice because it was busy. That's what I'm going to assume. Maybe next time I go, I'll go back there. I don't know. But that was just sad. That was just very... I'm losing my voice. That was just very sad pizza. So, I have always had the opinion that you have to engage with a show on its own terms before you can start to critique it. Going into a show to hate it is blatantly not engaging with it. Exactly. We saw someone on Twitter that was selling their tickets for free because they got the ick about going to a Jschlatt show that they paid for. I'm sorry, but you have got to be the most privileged, rich fuck to be able to be like, you know what? This is too cringe for me. You guys can just have the ticket for free because I don't want to go anymore. I can't believe I paid for this in the first place. You know, $770 out of my pocket's not going to be too much. Give me the fucking money then, dude. I'll spend the $70 on something that isn't going to make me like, oh, you know what? I just don't feel like going. Whatever. Whatever. You don't, like, I walked up and I got the itch. You made the sandwich. Yeah, dude. Low-key, he could just have tap danced on stage and I would have had the time of my life, bro. I was so happy to be with my people and see him. It was a fucking show. He actually did like a show, dude. I don't know what I was expecting, but based on Saturday's retention, I wasn't really expecting it to be, like, as good as it was. I am not as big of a Jschlatt fan as pretty much everybody that we went with. I am more of a Ted fan. Everybody else seems to like Jschlatt and Connor Eats Pants and KDB and Tommy Innit and whoever the British guy is that he does the podcast with the bald head. But I like Ted, I like Eddie, I like Danny, I like Drew, I like Curtis. I'm on that side of it, right? So I didn't really have the bias of being like your atypical Jschlatt fan, but it was still good. Like, it was still entertaining. He was funny. He wasn't really like, you could tell they were doing bits, but he was locked into it. There wasn't a moment where he would, like, break or, like, look away and, like, have to smirk or, like, break the bit. It was solid. It was a solid show that kept me entertained the entire time. I hesitated to reach for my phone half the time because I just wanted to enjoy the show. I'm really, really stuffed. I might take a quick break to blow my nose after or something. Actually, I'll go do that now. Can you guys give me like 5 minutes or something to blow my nose? Be right back. I mean, you guys can do your thing where you go get a drink, go get a snack, pull the wedgie out of your ass, whatever you gotta do. I'll be back in like 5 minutes. I just really want to blow my nose. Don't go anywhere. Or do. I'm not your mom. Okay. Sorry for that. I don't know what it is, because my nose feels relatively clear, and then it just kind of shows up. So I'll probably go for, like, I can already feel it coming back. But we'll probably go for, like, another half an hour or so. It won't be a long stream just because we're just talking and communicating out some stuff. For those that missed it, I just talked about, like, Saturday. I talked about why I went on the trip. I talked about Sunday. So now we're back from the hotel, right? And it's really, really late. We don't get back to the hotel until maybe 1 o'clock in the morning. So it's kind of rough. It's kind of a rough time. But, you know, we get back. We're all good. We're all safe. Monday morning hits. And it's kind of a train wreck. We were supposed to be up at 7:30. Hi, Coal Patrol. Welcome in. Welcome back. I'm back. Isn't that crazy? We were supposed to be up at 7:30 a.m. and the plan was to get up early, have breakfast, go to the bridge, and then they were supposed to drop me off at the bus terminal for my 11 a.m. bus ride to Midnight Underground. First of all, they got up at 8:30, and I did try to wake them, but it's okay. We got up at 8:30. I got ready. We hang out for a little bit. No, my bus ride was at 10 a.m., not 9 or not 11. It was at 10 a.m. 9:30 hits, and I check the map because I don't actually know where Port Authority is in regards to where we are. I can drink some water. And Port Authority is 30 minutes away. I'm not making that fucking bus. We try anyways. I say goodbye to Starry in the hotel room. Rachel rushes with me. We don't take the elevator. No. We run down 13 flights of stairs. 13 flights of stairs. I fucked up my left leg so bad. I almost fell down the stairs several times, and I fucked up my arms from holding all of my luggage. I had to beg Rachel to take my bag because I could not do it. I do not have the endurance to run down 13 flights of stairs with, mind you, this giant fucking bag. Look how the size of this is for me, and I was carrying this and my other bag, which is about half the size, down the fucking 13 flights of stairs. Absolutely fucking not, right? But I did it, and I fucked up my leg. My leg has not stopped hurting since Tuesday. I'm limping everywhere. I might have pulled a fucking ligament. I don't know yet. I haven't gone to the doctor. I'm just hoping that it gets better on its own, if I'm being honest. And we don't make it, right? We get through the subway, and we get to the Port Authority bus. We don't make it. There's another bus at 12 p.m. I'm like, fine, right? We go to this Barbie House Dunkin' Donuts across the street, and it's pretty nice. I get some macarons at the Port Authority bus station. They were way too fucking overpriced, and only slightly okay compared to how I've gotten them in Canada, but whatever, right? I hadn't had macarons in almost like 4 years. Barbie House Dunkin' Donuts. Yes, it was like all pink. And it had like Barbie themed donuts in there. I didn't get anything of the sort because I had almost no money. Have a good night, Christy. Thanks for being here. Why did my stuff not change when people subbed? People dropped a sub and it didn't change. There we go. Hey, look at that. Sprung's name's there. Isn't that cute? Yeah, so, you know, that happened. I didn't get any donuts. I did get a bagel with some bacon and some egg, and I ate it on the bus, and it was pretty okay. It was way fucking better than the wet sushi and the wet pizza I got, and it was like $8. Much better than any of the other food that I had gotten. Oh my god. Now I want cream-filled donut. Did you get any Dunkin' Donuts? I did. I got a Star donut on Saturday at the airport, and it was filled with so much sugar that I said, holy shit, after one bite, and I freaked out the family to my right. Because I said it just like, they aren't good, right? It was fine. The donut was better than the sushi and the pizza that I got. It was just that there was a lot of sugar. But I'd have one again. I'd have one again, no problem. And I only had the one donut. I didn't have like an assortment or anything like that. Need I remind everybody that this was not my itinerary. I was on everybody else's time. I had to follow everybody else. This was not my itinerary, unfortunately. I like their Boston cream. I can't stand Boston cream, so I wouldn't have tried getting one anyways. We have them in Canada too. Finally, I get on the bus. It's a 4-hour bus ride. I get to Midnights around 4 p.m. Now, this is an interesting thing I noticed about Americans that especially hit once I got into Midnight's car. Americans are kind of wider. Like, I don't mean this in a bad way. I really, really don't. Everyone's got a big head. Everyone's got like a much bigger head than I'm used to seeing. I have like a German friend that lives down here. Midnight's head was bigger. Like everyone just like, and Starry's telling me, you're tiny. And I'm like, I guess I am. Like, everyone's got a big head. Is that weird? Not you, Starry, but like Midnight had one. The guy working at the arcade that we went to had one. Like, everyone is like a bigger human. Not fat. That's not what I'm saying. Not fat, not like huge. Just like, is this why Americans are always joking about having big heads as babies? Because I never heard that growing up here. No one ever says that they have a big head here. But Americans actually do kind of have big heads. I was looking at Midnight in the car, and I didn't tell him because I didn't want to be rude. But I was just like, I'd look at him and I'd be like, you got a big head. It's just, it was, I don't know. It was something that I was really thinking about. Like, even his kids are like bigger than most kids I've seen. Not fat, but just like, they got more going on. Fascinating. Incredibly fascinating. Dude, there were so many little things about America that fascinated me. Maybe it's because I live close to Lake Ontario, but like, I couldn't see any water when I was traveling through the highways. No water at all. The only time I saw water was at the Queensboro Bridge. No lakes, no nothing. Very, very strange. Very, very interesting. You guys do have a lot of rolling hills. Starla do be tiny. That was actually funny. Funny enough, I posted a photo of me standing in front of like the giant fountain in the Terminal C at LGA, and people were telling me, holy fuck, you really are tiny. I guess Canadians are just, they got less going on? I don't know. I have no idea. But it amazed me. It amazed me how, like, I don't know how to describe it. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be like, I'm not calling anybody fat, I promise. I would, if I was calling someone fat, I would just say that someone was fat. The guy at the arcade who was working at the arcade, he was fat. Okay? Like, you know what I mean? So I meet up with Midnight. We go over to his place so I can drop my bags. His kids are so cute. Oh my god. I think their names are Ezra and Cameron. Ezra was such a little sweet kid. He would be like, hee, can I show you my ball? And I'd be like, I'd love to see the ball. And he'd show me his little ball from Dave & Buster's. And he'd He wanted to show me his room, and I looked at his room. He knows me as Ali Starla because they watch my streams on the big screen and all of that all the time. So he knows me as Ali Starla, and so I was like his first e-celebrity type beat, which I think is really funny to think about how my evolution has been. And at one point, what I thought was really funny was I went to go get something upstairs from my room, and I invited him, and he was helping me count my money, and I was showing him my macaron. Midnight and Mrs. Midnight come upstairs, and they see that Cody's in my room with me, and they're like, no, you can't be in here. And I'm like, no, I let him in here. He's okay. And they had to like relax. Only 3 years old, and that kid is already parasocial, shaking my head. It was funny though. And I'm like, no, I let him come up here with me. I'm okay with him touching my money, like it's okay. And it was just so funny seeing them relax and think I didn't want him in my space. I'm like, no, I wanted him. I asked him to come up here with me. It's fine. Like, he was just such a sweetheart. Cameron's really funny too. Cameron knows how to wave, and she knows how to say like, no, oh, they were such intelligent kids. Midnight and Mrs. Midnight, incredible parents, by the way. I'm gonna drop a shout out for Mr. Midnight, actually. Shout out. Midnight. Is it even gonna let me? Yes, good. Shout out Midnight. Incredible parent, incredible content creator. Very cool guy. That was us playing Guitar Hero 3. So we went out and we went to this arcade, this like retro arcade that had a bunch of different old arcade machines, including Gauntlet. It had the old versions of Gauntlet Legends and Gauntlet Dark Legacy. I once got into a Twitter argument with someone years ago that didn't believe that Gauntlet was meant to be an arcade game. There was an actual Gauntlet Dark Legacy arcade machine that we played. And we beat the Fire Mountain level, like with the dragon and all of that and everything. There was actually a really funny moment where— shut up, Nightbot, shut up. There was actually a really funny moment where we had just finished the mountain level and I was just kind of scrolling through the levels and I go, Dream is the hardest, like, Dream is on some bullshit. And just as I said that, he puts his hand down from his face and he hits select and we go to Dream. It was like, yeah, Dream is on some bullshit. Boom, Dream. I think I laughed so hard. The timing on it was incredible. It was like he had done it intentionally. He slaps his hand on it, looks at me, and is like, oh. Oh my god, dude. Midnight. Holy fuck, dude. What a guy. What a guy. We went out to, like, this taco place. We had a run-in with some of the customers, because when we showed up, we were told it was going to be a 10-minute wait, and then there was a woman behind us that was like, excuse me, we have already been here for 10 minutes, and now you're telling them it's going to be a 10-minute wait? And poor Midnight's like, oh no, like, we can wait extra longer, and the woman keeps cutting him off and going like, no, you know what, we're just gonna go, we're gonna go. Like, she was just, like, gone. Apparently her son was with her, I didn't see him, I just saw her go off about whatever, right? It was wild. But we sit down, we get our nachos. At first they have like way too much hot sauce on them, so he makes them take them, so we take them back, sorry. We get some margaritas, we're talking a lot about the city and about like his time in college and, you know, how he met his wife and all of that, and it was just like such a good conversation. We're talking about like Tucker and how he got to know him, how Tucker kind of started me with like how he got me into streaming, all of that, right? At one point, I make a joke about how Tucker, like, raised us and, like, go on, Scamp, you know, kind of, like, guided us through this. And he goes, like, yeah, like, he's our daddy. And I give him this look like, I'm waiting for the punchline, and he just, like, takes his drink, and he's like... Literally, I'm not exaggerating this when I say this. Midnight Underground, probably one of the best Americans I've ever met. Funny, smart, charismatic, intelligent. I already said that twice, but, like, what a phenomenal guy. Just, like, the best kind of person that you can have a drink with. Like, you can trust your drink. You can trust him with your drink. Just great person, dude. Great person. After we settled down, right, we drove back. Me, him, and Mrs. Midnight had a really interesting conversation about pride and about politics. Not in the sense that you would think, but we were arguing about, not arguing, we were discussing about, like, our alignments, and I was talking a lot, like, they would talk about Trump, and I would, like, laugh, and then I had to stop, because I was like, wait a minute, you guys live this. Whenever me and the other guys talk about Trump, it's kind of always in the sense where we're, like, laughing about it, like, kind of pointing and laughing, but I made the joke about Trump being president, and Midnight made a comment that was like, oh, Americans basically only got one more year left. And it really hit me that, like, you guys live this every single day. Like, you guys see him on the news, and everything that he does directly affects you. This isn't just, like, us laughing about it anymore. You know what I mean? And that was just incredibly interesting to me, to see him... to see them, like, to be having this conversation with people it actually affects, and not online. Like, I'm looking at them in their faces while having this conversation with them, and seeing, you know, Mrs. Midnight turn to Midnight and, like, be like, yeah, isn't this wild type shit. Like, it was fascinating. It truly was a fascinating conversation. But then we go downstairs and we do our live stream, right? I am live with Midnight Underground in his little basement. I go live on my phone to do one of my obligations, right? Where I'm live, you know, in New York. That was supposed to be a moment where we were supposed to go live in the Jschlatt lineup. That was the initial plan. But not only did we get there a little later than we planned to, but with how many times I needed to have my phone out to give information, there wasn't really a point where I could just go live on Twitch. I really wanted to, I really did, but the only way that I was able to do it was to go live alongside Midnight Underground. It sucks living in a country where about a third of the people around you are just genuine sheeple, including everyone in power. Yeah, dude. It's the same conversation about, like, the pride stuff. I just can't imagine that. I can't imagine not having the safe space like that. It just made me feel even more incredibly lucky to live in a place that I do. And I just, like, unless I become one of those privileged fucks, I don't perceive myself ever living in the States. I would have to go through so much shit and lose, like, most of my friends to ever consider moving to the States, especially with the life that I have now, and the life that we've got going on, like, and just the shit that we've got going on in this world right now, you know what I mean? Like, it's not happening. But it was a great stream. We had some really interesting conversations. We had some rather, not tough, but, like, heavier conversations than we probably intended to, but it was nice. It was, like, a place for, like, the real undergrounders to come and chill, you know what I mean? One thing that actually, and I don't think it was really as serious as I'm putting it, but after we went live, I woke up to the Discord and everyone being like, oh man, I'm really sad that I missed it. And it was Tucker specifically that was like, is the VOD gonna be up? I need to watch that. And I had just written, like, I made so many clips last night about it, and he replied to me and said, please post them. I missed the greatest collab of the year. And I'm sure he was saying that mostly for Midnight, okay? I'm positive that he was, but that still meant a lot to me as someone whose direct inspiration was Tucker. Like, you know, I'm sure to him, he's just a guy trying to make a living for his family with his business, right? And I'm not trying to be parasocial, but, like, Tucker's half the reason I went on that damn trip. Tucker is the reason I met Midnight. Tucker's the reason why I started streaming. Like, That man is a direct inspiration to everything that started what I'm doing. And so to hear him be excited for that, even if it was mostly for Derek, was just very heartwarming. Like, it was an honor. It was 100% an honor to be able to go down there and to be able to film, and to not even just film with Midnight, but to meet his family, and it was just, it was amazing. It was fucking amazing. I'm sure once you go out and meet the guy, I feel like it's not really parasocial. No, well, you never know. If it ever got to that, that would be, the guy's literally on my pop socket, okay? I would have to change some things. I would have to change some things so I don't come off as that. But you know, it's just, it's wild to think how far I've come, you know, and I'm incredibly proud of that. Tuesday, probably one of the most stressful days of my life, okay? We were supposed to go back to another, oh, I thought we were talking about Midnight still. No, I was talking about Tucker. Midnight's fantastic. I've already met him, so, I mean, I don't think I was parasocial with him. I do call him my brother and my cousin sometimes. So, okay, let me try to get back on track here. So Tuesday we wake up. I wake up at like 8 a.m. I wanted to get up a little bit earlier to say goodbye to Ezra, but I just couldn't. Like, I was so tired. And when I woke up, I was sore. Like, I was so sore from like the back of my leg up to the back of my knee, and then from the top of my knee up my thigh was just tender. Like, that was probably from running down the 13 flights of stairs. It was awful. I was so sore, and I was also like sweaty. I've never woken up sweaty before, and it wasn't even that warm in the room. I feel like it was just my body like exuding the stress of no longer being in a hotel. You know? Just like the TikTok of the guy getting massaged in his calf, for real. That's kind of what I had to do yesterday, Starry. I had to get a massage gun and just, like, go nuts. It was wild. So Tuesday morning comes. I'm up at 8:30. It was the latest that I had ever been up at. Because I had been up at, like, 7:30 the night before, trying to wake people up. And, you know, we decide we're not going to... Nightbot, shut up. Calm down. We decide that we're not going to the game store and that we're just going to chill until he has to drop me off because we're both very, very tired. I had Midnight up until like almost 2 o'clock in the morning and I feel really bad. But it was fun. So we hang out at the house for a little bit, we talk a little bit, and then he drops me back off at the bus station around 10:40. I'm fine at the bus station. You know, I find my bus, I find my seat. I'm by myself for most of the ride. It is another 4-hour bus ride. Because of a sports event going on, which I already knew of, the bus is delayed from landing at 2:50 to landing at 3:30. Fine, whatever. My plane is at 6:30, and I don't have any bags to check, so I have no reason to rush, right? Everyone's trying to tell me that I need to be at LGA 4 or 3 hours before my flight. I don't think so. I just doubted that. I figured 2 hours, maybe even an hour and a half, and I bet that I could make it. So I was fine with it being 3:30 because I had planned to take the subway from Port Authority and then take an Uber from, 99 Ovas. 99 Novas? 99 Novas. Why not 100, may I ask? Is it like 99 red balloons gone by? Hello, how are you doing? Hello, how you doing, dog? Oh, you're Nova, right? Hey, what's up? It just clicked. I know who you are. How you doing? Welcome in. It's the soft cap. Oh, you know what? That makes sense. That makes sense. That is the stack that you can have. Yes, I know you now. Hello. Welcome in. It's funny that your name is yellow here, but it's pink here. I wonder what causes Stream Elements to pick the color. I have no idea. But anyways, hi, how you doing? We're doing a just chatting stream today. Usually we play Final Fantasy 13 on Thursdays, but because I'm kind of easing my way back into things, and I'm honestly still very, very tired, it's green on mine. Yeah, well, see, for me, you're pink here and you're pink here. So that's very interesting. I have no idea what changes it. But yeah, no, usually I stream Thursdays, I'm playing Final Fantasy 13, but because I needed to ease back into things, we're just doing a just chatting where I'm talking about the trip and then just talking about some updates. Which we'll get to at the end. So good that you're coming in now. If you're here to just say hi for a little bit, hi. welcome in. I usually do stream Tuesdays and Thursdays around 6 p.m. Eastern. For reference, it is 9 p.m. Eastern right now. And streaming is like, I mean, YouTube is my big thing, but streaming is my main thing. So I'm glad that you liked all the content that you watched. And if you decided that you want to come out and hang out here, that's also awesome. Because the Twitch stuff is... A lot of the games that I play, I stream on Twitch. So you can kind of get a bit of a sneak peek. Okay, so let's get back to... Okay, so I'm on the bus, right? Bus has been delayed, but it's fine. I was gonna take the subway to the Roosevelt station. Funny enough. And then I was gonna take an Uber from there. Because it was only gonna be like a 10-minute Uber drive, right? Fine, whatever. It is 3 o'clock p.m. I get an email from Air Canada that says my flight is canceled. No delays, no nothing. There are mechanical issues with repairing the aircraft, and the entire flight is canceled. I immediately start texting everybody, letting them know, because I don't know what's happening. I get an email that says that they're going to reschedule me. Keep in mind, it is June 30th at 3 p.m. I get another email at 3:15 p.m. that tells me my next flight was moved to July 1st at 8 a.m. That's Canada Day. And more importantly, almost 24 hours later. I did not have a place to stay. I didn't have anywhere to fucking go. I couldn't turn around to midnights. I couldn't go back to the hotel. I had no one else in New York that I knew. I had nowhere to go. I'm sitting in this bus, which is now packed. And my flight's been canceled, and they're trying to fly me home on fucking Canada Day in the middle of the morning. Absolutely fucking not. Everyone's telling me to get a hotel, or to call the airline, or to call Midnight, or to call Starry. One person tries to tell me a big girl. I say, fuck you. I block them. Because not fucking helpful. We got another ad. But just wild. Just wild time. I'll wait a little bit. I'll wait for the ad to be done. My drink's about to be over. My cup's empty. Almost. Wait. Hold on. There's like a little bit of liquid in here, but I can't get it. I can't move the... Can you hear that? Fuck. That was weird. Okay, interesting. Look what I'm already doing to it. That's how you always know which cup is mine, eh? The fucking lip stains around it. Alright, ad's almost over. I'm almost always done. I am also almost done as well. Ad in progress, almost done. Let's go. Keep it moving, keep it moving. And okay, we're back. So, everyone's telling me to get a hotel. Everyone's telling me to call a Midnight. Everyone's telling me to call Starry, call Rachel, go back to get a hotel, da-da-da-da-da. Here's the thing that I was trying to explain to people that some people just weren't fucking clocking. Air Canada is not responsible for getting me a hotel. That's an American airline thing. Canada is not responsible for that. Canada is responsible for getting you home as soon as possible. So the people that were telling me to be a big girl and get a hotel, fuck you. Like, get educated, okay? Sorry, but just fucking rude and kind of entitled to assume that I can just do that, okay? But anyways, so I'm telling everybody, no, I'm going to the fucking airport because that's what they can do for me. Like, they are supposed to get me home. And, you know, even Stu just like, flights to New York or flights to Toronto aren't that long. They should be able to get me there. So I get to the terminal. I take the subway from the Port Authority after landing at 3:20, and I take the subway, which I find all on my own, by the way. Incredibly proud of that. It was really easy. I followed the signs, and I followed my phone, and it brought me to where I needed to go. It was fantastic. So I get on the subway by myself. I'm not looking at anybody. I find a seat. I'm Gucci, right? Gucci with the flip-flops, right? I'm not wearing flip-flops. Twilight, please stop trying to attack my air conditioner. It's not very nice. It won't solve your problem. I know it's hot in here. There's air conditioning in the living room. I don't know why you're in here. There's no reason. You have somewhere you can go, okay? She doesn't listen to me unless I talk to her like that. Right, Twilight? Twilight! Baby girl? Yeah, there she is. Hello! She's funny. And so it's, dude, so I get on the subway and I get to Roosevelt Station and I realize that the shuttle to the airport's free. So I get the fuck on that thing. I actually had this really nice Indian guy. That big girl shit is actually insane. Okay, so here's the thing about that, right? I'm not gonna call out who said it because I don't want to start shit. But if you want to start shit, fucking fine, whatever. Call yourself out, right? I don't fucking come to America, okay? I am a Canadian. I may seem like I'm incredibly put together. Hi, Capra. This is the funny thing about me, okay? Starry pointed this out to me. She said, you look like someone that just puts up with shit, and you seem like you're very put together. That is only half true, okay? If I need to fucking gussy down and get something done, I will lock the fuck in, okay? But I was in a country that I was continuously told was sketchy and dangerous, okay? I was continuously told that I was not safe. I was continuously told not to interact with anybody, not to look at anybody, to mind my fucking business, okay? So I was kind of fucking terrified of being in this country, this state, this city that is rather harsh, rather cold, by myself, and I get told to be a fucking big girl? Fuck you! Go to Russia with that fucking... Go to Russia and be openly American, and go there and just have an easy time. And let's see how fucking easy it is, okay? I'm a human being that was doing something for the first time. I have anxiety, okay? I suffer from shit. I'm not some fucking robot just because I have a strong voice and colored hair and bold makeup doesn't mean I can't be a little bitch every now and again. It's just, it's condescending. It's condescending and frankly a little privileged, a little entitled, you know? It really gives off like entitled shit. I don't like entitled people. I don't like it when people think that like they're so fucking hot shit. Okay, buddy. Yeah, dude. Recently I got told something like that too. I hate it when people say shit like that. And I don't know you like that. How many fucking times have people just said shit to me and then gone like, haha, it's just a joke. I don't know you like that. I've gotten blocked I've gotten banned from Twitch accounts for being told that I'm Canadian, and then one time I made a comment about being Canadian and someone said ew to me, and I said that wasn't very nice, and I got in trouble for starting beef. You're telling me ew for responding to a question about where I reside and I'm the fucking problem? Are you guys fucking stupid? It makes me feel crazy. Like, and this is the shit, and it's gotta be an American thing, because Canadians aren't like this, bro. We don't, it's wild. It's fucking wild, dude. It's a fucking huge culture shock. Can we normalize being nice? Can we normalize being kind and being fucking a little basic and just saying, I'm so sorry that you're going through that, but I believe that you can get through this. That's what all of my Canadian friends were saying. They were saying, hey, I really hope that you can get through this. I believe in you. Don't panic. And then this one person's like, can just be a big girl and get spend $700 to get a hotel. How about you send me the fucking $700? All right? Let's play this game, all right? You got big American money? Let's fucking see it. That's what I fucking thought. Like, it pisses me off. Entitlement? It's an issue here in Canada, too. Pisses me off. It actually... That's why I hope I don't become rich. I mean, I want to become rich, just so that I don't have to worry about shit anymore, and then I can do and make fun things. But I don't want to act like that. I don't want to be, like, chronically online and condescending. Just because what? Just because, like, it's easy for you? Whatever, dude. Telling anyone to be a big girl is like the type of talk that seems so inherently misogynistic too. Like, how do you even talk to people like that? Exactly, dude. And I didn't want to go there because I think it's too easy to imply something is misogynistic. People are saying that Toby Fox is misogynistic with how they wrote the flowers in Deltarune Chapter 5. I don't like to do that, but that is kind of how it felt. That is kind of how it felt. It did felt like, you know, go to Russia, okay? And don't learn the fucking language. And be openly American and be openly a fucking liberal and be openly LGBTQ and fucking tell me to be a big girl again, alright? I'd love to see it. Oh, I'd love to see it. Misogynistic, why would they say that about Toby? because I can't really spoil it. It's the secret boss. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it, please. The secret boss makes comments that the other flowers don't, and people are claiming that that's misogynistic. Even though they're, like, not really looking at what's underneath it. I don't know, but I've been seeing it on Twitter, which I need to stop using. But it pissed me off. So, here's where we get into the crux of it, right? This was the biggest part, really. Bro, what? Yeah, I don't get it either, Nova. I don't get it either. So I get to the airport, and I walk up to the Air Canada Help Center, and I say, my flight was canceled an hour ago, and I need to get home tonight. And the girl puts my stuff in, she takes my passport, she goes, you could go to New Jersey. I'm like, what? She goes, you could go to New Jersey. And I say, is there, like, a New Jersey city in Toronto? She goes, no, New Jersey here. And I'm like, for what? She goes, there's an airport there. Absolutely fucking not, I say. I need to leave from here. She says, well, there's no flights leaving here to Toronto, but there's one at JFK, and we can get you a taxi on our dime. And I'm like, what do you mean there's no flights to, like, and I'm like, I can't move. At this point, my legs, I am running on pure adrenaline. I can't keep moving like this. I could not walk when I got home. I was limping throughout the airport. I was limping to my apartment building. I was limping to the fireworks last night. I could not walk. And they're expecting me to walk out to the cab and walk through JFK. And I'm like, ma'am, I fucked up my leg. I can't travel. I need to leave from this airport. She goes, well, there's no flights. And I'm like, are you telling me there are 0 flights from this airport to Toronto at all? Even from a different airline. The fact that they claimed there were no flights from the biggest airport in New York to the biggest airport in Canada is kind of wild. Yeah, I was like, are you telling me there are 0 flights from this airport to Toronto, regardless? I'll go to any airline. And she goes like, no. And we stand there. I'm telling you, we stand there, silent, for 20 seconds. She says no. She's typing. I'm staring at her. And I'm just like, what? And then she's typing. She goes, wait. And she keeps typing. She keeps typing. You could go to New Jersey. A fate worse than death. That's ridiculous, though. Flying as hell. She starts typing and she goes, wait. Delta at 9:55 p.m. And she looks at me and I go, from here? She nods. I go, yes, that, please. And she puts me in. And, you know, now that I know I've got the flight, I relax. And I apologize. And I say, this is my first time flying. I just want to get home. And she says, don't even worry about it. I get it. We both relax. So, like, I have no fucking hate towards this airline employee. I'm assuming that I'm going to make a bold assumption and assume that they did not want to deal with the problem at that airport. Like, they clearly had some sort of policy that makes it so they can't give me the exact solution immediately or something like that. Because why the fuck would they tell me to go to an entirely new state when I'm not even a member of the country? And they know I'm Canadian because the passport that I gave them was Canadian. They know I'm not an American civilian, so why would they tell me to go to another state? When I had to apply for my boarding pass, I had to state that I was going to stay in New York. I had to give them the address that I was staying at. I had to sign something that stated I was staying in New York. What would have fucking happened if I tried to cross into New Jersey? You had to press 10 times to get the info? That's what I mean, is they must have had some sort of policy that makes it like just try to get them out of there, right? Because they wanted me to go to fucking New Jersey, and then they wanted me to go to JFK. And then magically she finds a Delta flight that's headed to Toronto, which, by the way, wasn't even full. I got to the airport at 4 o'clock. My flight was for 9:55, and even by the time I walked all the way around the fucking airport to get to Terminal C, fucking up my leg even more to the point where I was stopped twice by, like, airport security asking me if I needed... Oh shit, he's live? Okay, we're almost done, Bunk. I was stopped by airline security twice asking if I needed a wheelchair. Because of how fucked up my leg was. From walking. Sunday was a 20-hour day. Monday, I ran down 13 flights of stairs. Tuesday, I did a fucking lap around the airport and they want to send me to New Jersey. I don't fucking think so, dog. I don't think so. It's not happening. Gotta run, see you in the underground? Absolutely, Bunk. Absolutely. You on some joke ting. I swear to God, I'm not doing it. Magically finding the flight after saying no multiple times. It's like, girl, I guarantee you they just wanted to send me to a different airline so that it wasn't their problem and so that they wouldn't have to admit that they fucked up. It's gotta be something like that. It's gotta be some sort of airline policy shit. I don't know. But that's what it felt like. That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like, dude. So at 4:30, I get my boarding pass and I get through security. Wrong. I don't get through security. Here's what happened. So it works a little differently here in America. In the Canadian airport, they made me put both of my bags in the bins and then they had me go through security and then I take my stuff from the bins. In America, they make you open up everything. And I get why. It's a New York airport. I know, 9/11. I get it, right? So the first, I have my bag and I have my luggage. And the lady says, do you have any electronics in those? I say, I have my Switch. She says, I need you to take that out and open it and put it in the bin. I take it out of my bag, I open it and I put it in the bin. I ask, do my bags also go up on the bin? She says, just the one. I go, okay. I take off my personal item and I put it on a bin. I then try to go through security. Following the bins, right? A second girl says, no, your luggage has to go on there too. Get a bin. I go, oh, fuck, okay. I try to leave the conveyor to go back and get a bin. The first lady goes, no, stay with your stuff, ma'am, stay with your stuff. And I look at her and I go, I was told to get a bin. And she goes, no, just put it up on the fucking conveyor belt. Why the fuck would they tell me? Okay, so why would you tell me at first that I don't need to put my bag up, and then and then have the second person tell me to go get a bin, and then you're actually like, no, put it up. That's what you were supposed to do to begin with. Why the fuck did you tell me no? Why did you tell me just the one bag? I told her, do I have to put both bags in bins? Like, do I have to put both bags up? She said, no, just the one. And she saw me walk up to security with the luggage in my hand. Were you playing a fucking prank? Make it make sense. So I spent like 10 more minutes in security than I should have because of all the shit that I had to do. But I finally got my stuff through. I got my bags. I almost lost my charger. And then I got to just kind of like hang out. This was fucking wild. I asked for a green tea with honey. They gave me a sweet tea with honey. And when I was like, no, I said like a hot green tea, he like snagged it as if he was mad at me. Motherfucker, I said green, not sweet. It's the fucking dude, where's my car scene. Dude, what does mine say? Sweet. What about mine? Dude, what does mine say? Sweet. Like, it was the same shit. I said green. No fucking, like, hearing aid or anything. My God, dude. Compared to the Canadian airline, America was a whole fucking country, dude. I mean, that's the point, right? A whole fucking continent. A whole fucking planet. But I got some green tea for my voice. I got a Dave's double from Wendy's, which by the way was also wet. A Dave's, hello. I heard green tea, so I joined. Hello. I'm talking about my trip to New York, and I'm talking about the last little half of it. Oh, my ears. Yeah, I do that. What's up? Why the fuck is all of the food in New York wet? I got a Dave's Double, and it had the consistency of a fucking burger from Burger King. Why was it wet? Why does it hurt? Why is it wet? I can't get over that. I genuinely can't get over it. Why was it wet? The Dave's Double was wet. It was smeared in mayo. It was just mayo. I didn't see any oil taste to your food. It wasn't even that good. It wasn't even that good. It tasted fake. It tasted like a Burger King burger. The Baconators here are like leagues better, and even they have been tasting kind of weird lately. Wait, just like, oh my god, dude. Put that on the boyga. Like, it was crazy. It made no sense to me. But after I ate, I threw my stuff out. I found my gate. I got another window seat. Fuck yeah, dude, window seats. And I sat next to the chillest guy. Dude, this guy was an older man, foreign. I think he was from India. And he's a dad. I can 100% tell he's a dad because I was a little nervous. I was emotional. I was tired. I was cold. I just wanted to get home. This is the third flight that I had to reschedule. So I just wanted to get home, right? Like, I wouldn't have gotten home until 12 a.m. And he finds that there's Wi-Fi on the plane. And he's like, oh, there's Wi-Fi on the plane. And I'm like, oh, shit, that's kind of cool. And he goes like, yeah, get it. And then the second time around, the airline guy comes and brings us our snacks. And he gives me a water. And then the guy next to me gets a water and an orange juice. And I literally say out loud, oh, fuck, orange juice. And he looks at me and goes, do you want some? And I'm like, yeah, you know what, kind of. And I stop the airline guy again and I go, can I actually get some orange juice as well? And he's like, yeah, sure. He's got like your typical New York accent. And then, since the guy's back again, the guy next to me asks for cheese nips. And I'm like, I'm looking at the cart. Because in the Canadian airline, you can only get one thing. They gave me like a little Lindor chocolate and they gave me orange juice, but you couldn't ask for more. That was the only thing that you were given and they had to keep going. So I was like, am I allowed? Like the guy saw me looking at the car and he looks at me and goes, do you want some? And I'm like, I don't know if I can ask. And he's like, you can. So I ask again and I'm like, can I get some cheese nips as well? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. Like, you don't even worry about it. And he hands them to me and he goes like, is this your first time flying? And I'm like, well, not really, but it is with an American airline, and it's also different here. Like, on the Canadian one, I wasn't allowed to have a second snack. And he went, really? And he gives me a second bag. Dude, it was fantastic. He made me feel so much better, too, because he was doing, like, the forget about it bit, too. At one point, he made an Arnold reference. Like, the get to the chopper. He made that, he did a really good impression of that, actually. He was really, him and the guy that I was sitting next to were really helping me feel better. I fucking love human connections, for real. Because I was close to crying on that plane so many times from just being overwhelmed and just wanting to get home. So it was really nice, to just have people to talk to, and I don't think that they could tell that I was sad. They could probably just tell that I was a little overwhelmed, and so the fact that they were there to cheer me up was just really, really nice. So I got home, I got down into Canada at like 11 p.m. My flight was an hour and 3 minutes, which was very nice, so I was home very quickly. And the drive back was also very quickly because we completely dodged traffic somehow. I don't even know how. But I got home at like 12 a.m. Oh, and the first thing I did was cry. I cried for like 2 hours. No. Yeah. I cried for like 2 hours, and I was just so incredibly proud of the progress that I had made. I was so incredibly proud of everything that I had accomplished. Like, I ordered the ticket on my own with my own money that I had made thanks to you guys and thanks to your generosity. So much thanks to you guys had happened because of this trip, but like, not to take away from that, but like, I bought the ticket, I went and got my passport, I got on the plane by myself, I traveled around New York, and then like, Monday I got on the bus by myself, Tuesday I took the subway all by myself. Like, I am just incredibly proud of all of the progress that I've made, and it's truly it's true what they say about New York and how it kind of changes you. Even though that I was only really there for a weekend, it really feels like it has. I feel like I've become stronger. I feel like I've learned more. I feel like I've become more cultured on things. I feel smarter. And I feel like, above all, I feel incredibly guilty not to live there. Hello, Blackwing. Welcome in. Welcome back. I'm glad that you were there for Monday's stream. I really appreciate it. Anybody that was here for Monday's stream, it was very impromptu. It was very wacky, very wild, but I'm very grateful for those that were there for that. It will not be the only midnight stream. It will not be the only New York stream. Maybe one day I'll actually have the courage to actually walk around walk around in New York and go live. I bet traveling anywhere else would be a piece of cake now since it's hell there. I just love Guitar Hero. So do I, Ripley. So do I. I love Guitar Hero. Maybe we'll set up the Xbox in here one day to play some Guitar Hero 3 so I can show y'all how I do it on the controller. We'll see. I had a bit of an adventure today. That's pretty cool, Blackwing. That's pretty awesome. I had quite an adventure yesterday, and I had quite an adventure the day before, and the day before, and the day before, and the day before. But not Friday. Friday was easy. It is just so good to be back. It is fantastic to be back. Do Clone Hero multiplayer with me? It would be sick. I do own Clone Hero. I've made songs for Clone Hero. Joke? I'm not fucking joking. Fine, take it back. Take it back. No, it's fine. I'll just fucking... Take it back. Take it back. That's crazy. That's crazy, Ripley. You know, I come back from New York and all of a sudden I'm a joke, huh? Huh? You think I'm not hard anymore? Let me tell you. I'm hard all the time, all right? Okay, anyways. So that was my trip. That was my trip. Yesterday, oh, dude, my limp was bad yesterday. It was bad Tuesday night, too. It's a little better today. Not a lot of pain in my thighs anymore. I can hit them. Still some pain from the back of my heel up to the back of my knee on my left leg is still kind of bad. But we're good. I'm happy to be home. I'm happy that I made it home in time because I truly had nowhere to go. I'm telling you, I had one person that was willing to house me, but I would have had to get there. Your calf? No, I mean my heel. I guess bottom of my heel. Yeah. I meant to say bottom. I had someone follow me, by the way. I had someone follow me that says, I only follow bottoms and subs? Who the fuck? It's a joke username. I follow regardless. I don't know, bro. That's pretty fucking funny. Can I give them a shout out? Also, what song did you chart? I have charted New Botego by Azealia Banks. I have charted many songs from Person of Interest. I have charted No One's Lazy in Lazy Town from Lazy Town. I charted a song by Brental Floss, but I don't remember which song it is. I charted Big Iron, but it's just B. And I think that's it. I am number one. No. No One's Lazy in Lazy Town. Hey, get it together. No one's lazy in Lazy Town. You know that one? When I move, I'm feeling alright. Bing, bang, bang, and I'm ready to go. That one. Dude, I love that song. I love Lazy Town. Season 1 Lazy Town. Ooh. I know almost that entire soundtrack. If you sent me your song folder, I would 100% set up Clone Hero to play with you. Okay, but Ripley, here's the thing. My songs are charted for controller. So, it's not... I was asking if number 1 was on there. I mean, ones that I've made? No. A song that you can play on Clone Hero? Probably. But no, my songs are charted for controller, so it's different. It's very different. I don't know how they would play on the actual guitar, because I don't have it. I've never owned the actual guitar. But yeah, that was my trip. So, I'm probably going to repeat this throughout the week, but we do have some things that we need to discuss for the content, all right? So, I have many things that I need to do for content now that I'm back, okay? Many things. But I'm going to ask you guys to have a bit of patience with me about it, okay? I believe I said before I left that it would be stuff that I would start working on the day that I get back. And that is still the case, okay? But there were so many things that happened with New York that I'm gonna need a bit more of a blank period than I thought I would, okay? I'm not saying that we're not gonna get to it this year, because we are. Are we gonna get to it in July? That I'm not sure of, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on getting this video out, okay? I'm going to focus on getting the person of interest video out for hopefully mid-July, okay? I watched the hell out of Lazy Town, probably why I started doing stunt work. Oh, fuck yeah, Blackwing. You need to unravel a little, yes. But we will still be doing stuff like the karaoke stream, the cooking stream, all of that, okay? I am going to be working on those behind the scenes. You may not see them until end of July at the soonest. It might even be August, okay? I'm sorry about this. I really am. Like I've said, I am one person. Skunga helps me with a few things, but I am the one that plans the shit. I have to buy the shit. You know what I mean? So, there's that, alright? I edit, so I get it, yeah. So, I'm gonna be focusing on getting this video out. The second this video is out, that is when we will start planning the days for these special streams, right? If you haven't already, I implore you to go into the polls channel in the Discord server. It's the last day you can do it. I need you to tick off every single day of the week and the time that you are usually available for these streams. Because I need to know what days these streams are going to be good on, whether it's going to be that we do them on Mondays or Sundays, or if we change depending on what it is, and what time we do it. These are also probably going to be short-ish streams. Usually when I stream or I play a game, I usually go for about, at most, like 5 hours, maybe even longer if I'm doing a stream with someone else. But keep in mind, because we will be going outside of the usual schedule, these streams may only be about as long as this one is, which is about 2 hours. Especially streams like the Coca-Cola stream. The Coca-Cola hot tub stream is probably only going to be like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. It will not be a long stream. So I need to make sure that you guys, where's my I voted sticker? You can make one. You could. Or you can just say that you voted when the stream is up. So yeah, that is why I'm imploring you guys to tell me what day and what time works for you throughout the summer. Because these are likely going to be short streams. These are not going to be streams where you can pop in a little bit at the beginning or pop in a little bit at the end. And I want to make sure that the people that spent I voted crew to Starla MS paint drawing. Dude, that's Pont, did I just say? My voice is going. That's why I'm having an issue speaking. Miss Pont's drawing. Oh, great. These are going to be quicker streams, except for the ones where, like, I thank every single YouTube subscriber and all that, right? But they're going to be quicker streams, so I want to make sure that everybody, especially those that donated to begin with, are there to see the streams live, alright? Another thing is, we are starting up the birthday event again. My birthday is July 22nd. Last year, we did a thing where I opened up the Throne wishlist a little bit more. And for those of you that are curious, Throne is like Amazon wishlist, but a lot more expanded and a lot more strict with everything. Thank you, Skunga. I beat you to it. Last year, we did a thing where, look at my bald spot, dude. That's not my bald spot, that's just my hairline. My bangs sometimes give me a bald spot when I haven't washed them in a bit. Ooh, did you hear that? When I haven't washed them in a bit. My voice is gone. My voice is gone, guys. We did a thing where you guys sent me a bunch of stuff and I opened them on stream. We are doing that again this year. Wash them a bit, yeah. We are doing that again this year. Your voice sounds not bad though. I mean, it's going. I can feel that it's going, and I'm having to kind of force it a little bit because otherwise I have to sound like this. And you can't hear me when I come all the way down here, right? No, you can't. So I have to force it a little bit. We've got a few things from last year. We got this mouse pad. We got a lamp back there. And there was one other thing that we got that I can't remember, but I think it was like another little trinket somewhere around here, I think. How's the stream being so far, by the way? I mean, I'm just talking. We're about to end in a couple minutes here to raid out to midnight. But yeah, so we're doing that again. So my throne is open. You can send me anything that you deem reasonable, or you can look through the lists that I've made and send me something from there, or you can even crowdfund it. Anything. Oh god, the new UX is rubbing off on them. Yeah, well, that's also just like, I like doing the voice. I'll ask you about them later. Maybe, yeah. I just did it again. Okay, but yeah, so if you buy me something, it'll be anonymous until I get it, and then if you have like a message from me, I'll be able to see it on the Throne website, and I'll read it, and I'll thank you, and I'll open it, and it'll be cool. No pressure, especially since we just did the New York fundraiser, right? Absolutely no pressure. We only got I shouldn't say only, but we got 3 things in last year. If we can get 3 things in this year, that would be awesome. If not, I totally understand. I'll be adding stuff to the list as time goes on. All right. And so that'll be something. It is still there. Well, yeah. But it just, like, does it talk about New York when you click it? I mean, not really. I'll keep it up. That's still the, that's what my tipping page is going to be now, so whatever. Anyways, I'm so tired. Hold on. What am I saying? Yeah, so if we can get, like, 3 things this year, if not, that's fine. I'll be updating the list as the week goes on. And it'll just be, like, a fun way to celebrate my birthday. And, of course, my birthday is on a Wednesday this year. Yeah, just give it an alias, like, well, there is one. What the fuck? Yeah, see? There is. Nightbot, shut up! And then I also have different ones for, the gifting. So yeah, no pressure. But that's the thing. I don't know if I'll be able to go live directly on my birthday like I could last year because it lands on a Wednesday. But I will also be going live either that following, the previous Tuesday or that following Thursday. But I will wait, for the sake of everybody having time, if they do wish to want to send me something, I will wait until the 31st. You know what? I'll wait till the 30th to open everything, alright? So you guys got 1, 2, 3, you got 4 weeks if you desire to want to send me anything. And like I said, I'll open it on stream, and whatever message you've sent or whatever name you've sent, I will read it. We did it last year. People have asked for it again, so I'm doing it again, alright? I'm pulling the Jschlatt thing, where it's like, I feel bad doing this, but people have asked for it, so I do it. That's why I do things. I don't do things, half of the time I do it because I want to, half of the time I do it because you want me to, alright? That's how this works. So, thank you for being here for today's stream. I don't know if I'll be live this Monday, but I will be live again this Tuesday to continue Pokemon Coliseum. We may even beat it this Tuesday, we'll see. Thank you everybody so much for being here. We're gonna go say hi to Midnight for his first stream back since the trip. Very good guy, very fun. I'm excited to see what game he's playing. They didn't update the game, so I will have to go update that when I pop in. But, please say hi to Midnight Underground for me. I streamed with him on Monday. Very good friend of mine, very cool dude. Very loving family. Just go give him all the love in the world. Even if you don't, even if you don't want to stay, at least ask how the game is going to give him something to talk about. I'm working on my mini rule set for God Game. I might just have this be my first stream. You totally could. You totally could, Ripley. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna rest my voice. I'm probably gonna make a tea. I'm gonna maybe have a shower. I'm doing the Deltarune weird route tomorrow with my friends, so I'll let you guys know how that goes. It was nice popping in. Sorry the end of the trip was crazy, but good to hear it was fun overall. I have 0 regrets. Besides maybe wanting to go to the bridge a little bit more, I have 0 regrets. I learned so much about myself, about the country, about the culture. and I feel like I've done nothing but improve and become stronger because of it. I am truly grateful that I had the opportunity because of you guys to be able to do this. If this is what the first year of content creation has for me, I can't wait to keep going. And I really hope that you'll stay for it. I know some people have fallen off because I'm not really like a small streamer anymore. I notice, by the way. I do. But I'm just happy to have people that are here that are willing to come talk to me and hang out. And I truly love you guys. I mean it. I'm not trying to be parasocial, but you guys are fucking awesome. Anyways, go say hi to Midnight. I'll see you next week on Tuesday. Stay safe. Thank you, Skunk Guy. I appreciate that.